Good morning, everybody. Chuck and Paige here. Actually, she's in the back. Come on in. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day. What you doing, babe? Exercise?
No.
Cleaning?
Mm-hmm.
Shopping?
Shopping.
Hope everybody's having a great evening, great morning, whatever it is. I hope your day was awesome. We are having a little bit of downtime right now, which is the thing that we like to do in between our trips. After usually about 10 days, I'm trying to figure out where we're going next. But we have a pretty busy schedule coming up, I think probably for the rest of the year. So, been doing quite a bit of traveling with a lot of groups, a lot of group traveling. That gets kind of exhausting, I think, for everybody, even with the videos. But hey, it's fun. Quick shout out to Felipe, Michael. Good, nice to have you in. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff happening. Want to talk to you about just some little bit of current events that are ongoingly changing every 2 weeks through the control of the CCSA. I think a lot of times, well, I know they usually follow what's going on around them, or they'll make some decisions and then figure out if it's going to work later or not. But as of right now, things are pretty simple. They extended the decree for another 2 more months so that we can continue the show. Morning, Daz. Morning, Tommy. Everybody, good to see you guys. Give me just a moment. I just want to blah 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 for just a little bit, and then we'll answer some questions. But right now, there was some trying times during all of this. I'll have to admit, but right now it's a little bit. I will tell you this: my only problem with this whole thing is the masks. Like I really don't care if you want to wear the mask. It's cool. Like especially if you're a compromised person, right? You should look after yourself. But man, it is hot outside. So from here, it's just irritating for me because it's a social thing. And let me explain to you why. Because I don't know, some people have blown that out of proportion when I have mentioned it a couple of times. But what I mean by that basically is they want you to wear a mask in public, right? So why? Why is the reasoning because it's going to slow down, uh, the virus, or is it going to slow down so we can continue this, for a long period of time? Because what happens is people are outside, and I don't think they're doing it because they're afraid of breaking the law or they're really wanting to rid the virus. I think they're doing it out of social. They don't want people to look down on them, right? So the reason why I say this is because you wear a mask, and then as soon as you get into an air conditioned room packed with people stuffing food in their face, nobody's wearing a mask. So as soon as they get off of their motorbike and walk into their house, nobody's wearing a mask. If you're putting something in your mouth, you don't have to wear the mask. So where are we going with this thing, and when will it end? But Myanmar ended their outdoor mask mandate, which is good. Hopefully, Thailand will follow that lead here pretty soon because I know that's a deterrent for a lot of people. Not the people that actually want to come to Thailand, but the people that are considering going on a holiday, going on a vacation. They'd really not rather deal with that, probably most likely. But I don't think it's they're worried about the law because when they get in the vehicle, one person will put the mask on, but they're not wearing their seatbelt, or they'll get on the motorbike. Some I don't. A lot of people die on motorbikes here for a couple of different reasons. One of them is drinking, but they'll be wearing a mask and no helmet. So if they're really worried, concerned about the law, there's a lot of laws in Thailand too that they don't tend to really. But what it boils down to is, they don't want it to affect. They feel like if they're not doing it, it may cause problems for other people around them. So anyway, that's the only thing. And you guys hear me talk about, and I try not to talk about it as much, but on a serious note, we have traveled quite a bit of places. And as you can see in the videos, most people don't care. Like they're tired of it anyway. There's no law that says you have to do it. you're not going to get a fine or anything. But people are tired of it, and especially in tourist areas, like nobody when the lights go out at night or when the sun goes down, it's let the fun begin. But that's how it's kind of been for a while. I will say the deterrent of people coming into Thailand has made it super easy for people that live here because traveling has been really nice. The only problem is some of the amenities are not there. Some of the places are closed. Some of the hotels are only running half staff. Um, but that's okay. You work your way around that just like wearing the mask. You just get around it and enjoy the moment. Me and Paige, we enjoy the outdoor. We enjoy going outside. Yeah, I'll say so. Not having a lot of people around makes it more enjoyable for us because if you remember 3 years ago, we always tried to show you places that were less inhabitable with no people. Good morning, Dave. I sorry to have interrupted your live. It's difficult to do a live stream because at some point somebody's always doing a live stream, but I don't do that many because usually we're outside, so I don't do so much. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit today about what's going on. We have a friend coming from Laos who lives in Suwanakit, which is just across the border of Mukdahan. She's coming tomorrow. We're going to do a little trip. I promised the ladies I would take them on a little adventure before our schedule gets real tight. But they can come. And I've seen a lot of vehicles now with the yellow tags throughout this area, which are vehicles from Laos. But she has to do the Thai pass thing, and it's just as confusing over there as it is here. But she ended up just they want you to really kind of hire an agency to do it. So anyway, it cost her 3,500 baht. They take the passport, they get her the insurance, and they verify the vaccination, and then she had her visa coming into Thailand for 30 days in a matter of 3 hours. So cost her a little over $100 US. So, but anyway, she's coming. So it's only reason I'm mentioning that is because the border towns really depend on the neighboring countries. They don't really depend much on for like Westerners as much as they do on the neighboring country. So things are going to start to get a little bit better for people here, which I'm glad to see. So as far as entering, you guys probably already saw the news about the things getting a little bit easier with the Thai Pass. So one of the things I really like is that you instantly get a QR code. I don't really know what that means. Like you instantly get a QR code, even though your information might not be correct. Because the biggest problem I had was that, me and Paige did it at the same time. I did them both. They were just exactly the same type of vaccination information and everything else. And she got approved instantly, and I didn't get approved at all. Like I was just in limbo, you know. So I ended up having to change my flight. But so I don't know what that means. So if they could verify that like immediately, I'm not sure. But I'm kind of well, I'm not kind of I'm really happy that they're keeping the Thai pass during this episode because until they get rid of the vaccine requirement, until they get rid of the insurance requirement, I think this is a way better way because you don't want to fly a halfway across the world, hand documents to this, to the friendly immigration officer behind the counter and let him determine if your documents are good enough for him, so you don't want to have to deal with that. Plus, can you imagine how the chaos would be in the lines going into immigration? So, I'm glad all you got to do now basically is show your passport, do your little thumb. I don't know, I haven't done it yet. I will soon, and hand them the little QR code. So, I'm glad until we get rid of the other stuff. I think they need to keep that. Now they did end. the Thai pass for the Thai people, which makes sense. I don't know why they would need to have that to begin with. A few different reasons why, but they did end that, so that'll lighten up maybe some of the flow on the Thai pass thing. So, but of course, the insurance is still 10,000. Now, I'll tell you that we're searching right now. There's a company that is a fraction of the cost for the insurance. If you're just coming for like 30 days, it's really cheap anyway. I think it's like 600 baht or something. I'm not really sure. A couple of places we looked at was about $16. But there's one on there that what you have to do, you have to apply for it 2 weeks before you enter Thailand, because there's like a 2 week waiting period. So I figure if you don't have COVID within 2 weeks, then they'll go ahead and qualify you for their insurance, but it's like really inexpensive. If you go on to the Thai Pass website, it gives you the list of insurance companies on that. So, but we've already got our plane tickets booked to go back to the U.S., which was challenging. Man, it's so expensive right now. We had to pick a particular flight because we wanted to fly back with our friends, but it was, and because we live in Thailand, there was a lot more fees because of that. About $700 worth of fees because we're coming from Thailand. But anyway, it was almost $4,000, two round trip tickets on United and ANA flying into Japan. Now, we usually fly EVA, but they're not because there's an outbreak in Taipei. So there's no flights out of EVA. They've canceled all their flights, and there's just limited. And because of fuel prices and the restrictions of air traffic is where we're at now. So even if they decided tomorrow that there was no more virus and they were going to release their control, it's still going to take some time, Anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say. Not a whole lot's changing. Just traveling has been super easy. You can see it in the videos. Really been having a great time in Thailand. My only complaint is the face mask stuff. But and if you're into the bar scene, I think and the blue zone and the green zone, they've decided to allow bars and whatever massage parlors. I think they were open anyway, or no, karaoke bars to start opening again. There's karaoke bars and I never really got that. Like you drive around like rural part of Thailand, and out in the middle of nowhere, there's a karaoke bar. It's like, what the hell's going on here? Like people are that addicted to friggin' singing that they got to pull over and sing some karaoke. But normally it's like a little bar. Usually a truck driver or something will stop by and there'll be a lady in there they can drink with or whatever. So it's just weird. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I see Daz is here. I got two computers going. I don't know which one to look at here. Daz, I hope everything is good for you. I know you're waiting for everything to dissipate. So you'll probably be back here, I'm going to guess, in about 2 years. Let's answer some questions here. Let's see. Here's one. Thai 2112. That's interesting name, the 2112. COVID insurance for expat returning to Thailand. How long does your insurance have to be for? Good question. It has to be for the duration of your visa. So for me, I have a 1-year visa, so I have to have the insurance by the expiration date. So if you're only coming, for instance, it's my mom, I'm going to get her a tourist visa, which will be a 60-day stamp. So her insurance has to be for 60 days. So they have to be able to see that date. So for me, which sucks because I have insurance here, but they want to see that. And if you have insurance that will specifically say that you're covered, it has to say, and you have to be able to show that in the application on the Thai Pass that it is covered for COVID, then you can use that. Village for Long, thank you very much. corn pads for Dave. Says Chuck almost stepped on his live stream toes. It's difficult because everybody's doing a live stream like all the damn time. So it is what it is. Sorry about that. You guys could have continued the feed. I'm not stopping you. I don't know when else to do it. This is a good time for me, and I try to only do it once a week. And I haven't actually done one in a while, but I know you're just joking. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that very much. Karaoke is huge. I haven't been to the Philippines. I got a guy. It's weird. Off a different story. I got a guy. Somebody had sent me a message. Go, hey, I think this guy's impersonating you. No, he actually is impersonating me. He created a Facebook page with me, with my face and a lot of my pictures and stuff. And I don't know what he's. Maybe he's an ugly dude or something. But he's trolling well, I don't know if he's trolling, but he's trying to pick up women on a Philippine date site with my name. And anyway, I've reported him, and I've asked my Facebook friends to join along, and I've gotten like 100 emails from Facebook that you guys have done that, but I haven't got a response back, and his site's still up. So I guess if they're going to allow him to do that, maybe I'm going to change my Facebook to Mark Zuckerberg and start trolling porn sites, and I guess that would be acceptable. Then you could pretend to be anybody you want to, and do that. But I haven't got a response back from Facebook. It seems like they're probably not going to do anything. When you're on the other end of something like that, you don't, nothing ever happens. But God forbid you ever say something wrong or out of line, and they just, they close your Facebook right away. So what can you do? Only thing you can do, I guess, is just turn off the social media. We do have the light switch right here. We just and be done. So yeah. Ron, good to see you. Brock, always good to see you. Facebook is very slow to respond to anything unless you are a government. I think unless you are talking about the government, for sure. Yana, good to see you. Question: can I bring my household duty free on a retirement visa? Can I bring my household duty? I don't quite understand what you mean by that. For me to answer, ask me in a different way. I'm obviously not too quick this morning. Damn Yankee, good to see you. Ron, who loves to wear the face masks, I see. Just kidding, Ron. Musk is battling. Yes. Yeah, I'm really intrigued by all that. Like, I'm not really into like news drama, but I really like Elon. I really ever since he was trying to get smashed a long time ago in Los Angeles, trying to build up his company, battling out the oil industry, But yeah, I think he's gonna be a good thing for us free speechers. Brock said, and maybe I just don't know the lingo. Thank you, Brock. Diana is referring to the personal effects household good. Personal effects. All right. And this is like an Australian thing, right? You're talking about like personal items, household goods, and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you mean like, do they not allow you to bring that stuff here? I mean, you can bring anything you want to. I don't know. And I'm having the same discussion with my mother because she's like, do they have this? Do they have that? They're like, yeah, they have. Probably what you have, they made it here or somewhere close by. They have that stuff here. Trust me. And it's probably going to work better here than you bringing your stuff here because most likely it's not compatible with 220 volts from America. Now, I don't know where you're bringing yours from. If you have 220, then bring it. But I don't know why you'd want to, unless you're just really attached to your mixer or something like that. But you can bring anything you want to. But everything, it's fun to go shopping and start over again. But you might find out you don't need a lot of those things because I realize that it's easier just to walk down to the market and get fresh anything you want. And I found that now I don't really cook that much after almost 6 years here, like I used to. And I don't. The only thing I really craved like was homemade bread or pizza, and I don't really do that much anymore. And I find when we travel, we have that stuff readily available. But buy the stuff here. Don't. If I were you, I would just bring like a small bag of stuff. I brought a lot of crap, and I went back and brought more crap, and now I'm giving it all away. And I don't have. I have like 12 shirts that I wear constantly. It seems, and I have a closet full of crap that I don't need. Eagle Eye 77. I do get this asked quite a bit. A lot of what you can and can't bring is on the internet. If you can go to any site, government site for Thailand, and go to customs and see what customs allows you to bring in and out of Thailand. But they got really strict also on parts, like importing parts. Like my father-in-law has a very difficult time now getting engines for his tuk-tuks. So you want to cut your car up in pieces and bring it, then I don't know, more power to you. That's to be a whole crap load of money. I think you're joking, though. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Good morning, James. How are you? Everybody congratulate James for the hard work and short amount of time it took James to get to 20,000 subscribers. It says, very good, sir. Your content is always amazing. You're a hard worker, and yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure hanging out with you guys and being a friend. But congratulations, and I feel like this is just like we're going to probably be doing this again in about 2 months. Like, congratulations, James, you hit 40,000. Congratulations, James, you hit 100,000. No, seriously, good job, Mitch. Good to see you here. Let's see here. Got a lot of stuff popping up. I'm pretty excited about what's happening next. My mom, I'm talking to her like every other day now. I'm trying to get her to do some more exercise. She's right now she's taking care of her 96-year-old mom, so she's limited to her time. But she still has a whole lot of crap that she brought to her sister's house. Also, she has stuff in the storage, so I'm trying to convince her that it's not necessary to have all this stuff. Just bring a little bit. We'll put the rest of your stuff in storage. If you feel like you need it next time, we'll bring it next time. But it's hard for her to get rid of those stuff. Like, you're not going to wear the 1970s disco dress. Just give it away. Give it away already. He's going to make a good Halloween costume, I think, for somebody one day. I'm going to miss a whole bunch. CJ, it's good to see you. Time to get going. Peter, awesome to have you here. Gav Reynolds says, I think if your items are used, it's possible, but if new, then there is an import fee. Simon from Lost in Thailand, or no, yeah, I know what that is. Simon, I didn't know Simon was still doing videos or active on the internet. Bought a container full of his belongings. Brought a container of his belongings from the UK. T, good to see you. I didn't think you were going to make it. We are going to be in Chumpon. I don't have the exact date. I can send it to you later. But we'll be there probably sometime what is this, May? Sometime next month. Mitch is going to bring it for a friend. For John. CJ Parrott, no import fee, just take it out of the new box. Yeah, I've done actually a couple videos. I know I've got like a couple on the internet about how to bring things, what to bring into Thailand. But yeah, I agree. Like, if you're going to bring a gift, let's say you're going to bring somebody a camera, make sure it's not in the box. If you're going to bring somebody a watch, make sure it's not in the box. Not that they're going to probably go through, but they do have random checks um, in the airport. But if they see you have this and you're bringing it over there, it's going to be questionable, and then you're at the mercy of that man. So I would make sure you have it. Either wear it, but don't. You can bring the box, just don't put the item in the box. Vicky, good morning. Hello, good to see you. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think I gotta smash my own like button here. Here we go. There I go. I just got an extra freebie one from myself. Thanks. And I gave myself a thumbs down. I'm so glad they got rid of that dislikes count. You could put that back on your channel if you want to. There's a way to allow them to see the dislikes, but ever I have maybe a few people that don't like me for whatever reason, but they go completely out of their way every video to give me a dislike. But it's gone down to half now, so only half of them. I could make a video about butterflies pooping out golden nuggets, and they would still give me the thumbs down. But it's their entertainment. I'm so grateful that they could take their time out of their day to give me a click, which is more valuable on my channel than the small little tiny annoyance that they're trying to do. But thank you, James Morgan. Good morning. I appreciate that. Eagle Eye 77 again. Will a Thai wife allow me to have a side piece? Okay, so where are we going with this conversation, Eagle? Aaron, catch me some of those butterflies. Yeah, Tom Yum guy. I think we all know the answer to that question, right? So I think if you play your cards right and you initially put that out in the relationship, yeah, whatever, it only takes money. Larry, not the cable guy. Good to see you, Larry. Hi, Chuck. Is it required to register with the U.S. Embassy after you get your O visa? Absolutely not. Like I went to the embassy one time because I needed to get my marriage certificate translated into English, and I needed them to verify that it was legit. I pay them $50 so they can say, yeah, this is a real document. But no, you don't have to do anything. When you check out of the country through immigration of America, they know that you're here. I don't know. You don't have to check in with the embassy. No. But I guess if you've never been, you wouldn't know. But no, you don't have to do that. PK. That's like the dumbest question. Why would you have a wife and want a side piece? Don't come to Thailand. I think he's being facetious, or maybe it's the beginning of a whole bunch of different other kind of comments. That's usually how it starts out. Something like, "Oh, hey, I love your channel." Then it gets a little sillier, and then a little sillier, and then it's like, "Okay, that's enough." Yes, I am actually going to try to get a couple of beers. I want the Mafias to try some Dos Equis and Modelo. We're going to try to stuff a couple in the bags on the way back home. Waza Oz, marriage or retirement visa, your thoughts? My thoughts. My thoughts are it just depends on you. Like for me, where I'm at, it was too difficult for me because we like to travel and they don't approve the marriage visa here. It has to be sent off to ConCan. The paperwork takes about 10 days to get back. I didn't want to go through the hassle of waiting for my documents. And then you have to bring some pictures. It's a little bit more paperwork to do. It's not that big of a deal. It's a little bit easier though on the financial side. Like they just changed the rules on the well, they're always changing, right? Like everything else on the retirement visa, where you have to have 800,000 bought in an account. you have to have the 800,000 bought in there for 3 months before your visa ends and 3 months after, and it can't go below 400 beyond that. But there's no specific rules like that with the marriage visa. And I don't really know how it works with if you're having 65K come in a month, how they would manage that. But I think their main goal was to try to get rid of some of these people that are using the agency. So, which is weird because in a lot of areas like Chonburi, when you go to the counter, it's like the first thing they say is, no, you just got to go see an agent. So I don't know. It's confusing, but I got off track on that one. But anyway, I prefer the retirement visa because I live here. I have money. I want to have money over here. It's easier for me to use my bank debit card here. And I just go into immigration, show them my bank statement that I still live in this house. And mine's a little easier because I'm married. So it's still an O visa. It's married with the intent to retire. So all I got to do basically, instead of showing all the pictures that we're married, I just show I have the money in the account. So they just go with that instead. Or you can go to an agency. I've got a good lawyer, which I'm going to go see to get my mom's visa. I don't have a. I'm going to go let him do it because he kind of owes me one. So I'm going to let him do my mom's visa, and we'll see how that works out. I've never actually done that before. What's that thing sticking out of your head on the page side? Huh? I don't know. Is that my microphone? I'm not really sure. Maybe my horns are showing here. Let me do something a little different for you then. There. Is that better? Aaron Hill, good to see you. Hey, Chuck, I know a lady here that makes custom aluminum drink cups. They are 24 ounce. Would you like to have you and Paige one made with your channel logo? Yeah, that would be pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Yeah, those cups are really popular here and very inexpensive. They're normally, I think you can buy them for like 150 baht. So that's roughly about $4 and under $5. Well, the exchange rate for us is good right now, so probably a little less. Phyllis Ron, your lawyer owes you too. I'm a client now too. I'm sure he appreciates that. They try. I don't need money funneling into my, especially if I'm like on a retirement visa. I don't have any money coming into Thailand. Period. Nothing in my bank account here. So he wanted to set me up on some kind of like commission thing. I was like, no, I don't really care, bro. I like to share it because I know it works. And not only that, but this guy, he's Thai. It's right across the street from the U.S. Embassy. And he lived in America for a while. So, I mean, he could help. Doesn't matter if you're American or not. I mean, he understands our needs as a Westerner, because he lived in the West for over 10 years. But I recommend him because I've only had a couple people complain, oh, his prices are too high. I mean, well, okay. Well, if you're going to go see Habib, on the corner of between the two massage parlors, then go see him. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. Toby Price, I love your music. Good to see you. The marriage visa requires 400K in the bank for same amount of time. You can get the retirement visa for the same amount of time. You can't get the retirement visa until 50. Yeah. I think if anybody wants to come to Thailand, I think that's the first thing you should do is look up the requirements. So I appreciate that, Toby, for the requirements on how to get here to Thailand. I think it's important before people even consider, even especially watching my channel, that they know how to get here and what the requirements are. But yes, you're correct. Half of the money, and it's a little easy. They don't require you to have a certain amount specific times in your account unless they change that right away. Yeah, you have to be 50. And that's a lot of the reason why I came here when I was 46. So I had to do the marriage visa. And the immigration officer, when I showed her my bank book, she's like, "Why don't you just get the retirement?" Like, okay, give it to me. I'm 46. Oh, I can't. Okay, well then, yeah, there you go. Brett Drinkwater, how are you, sir? Hey, Chuck, is there another way to buy a condo without putting 51% in the name of a Thai national? I don't know. I'm not the guy for that question because I don't know why you'd want to come over here and buy a condo anyway. Why would you want to? The problem, and not just like I don't have the experience, but I have quite a few people that I talk to on a daily basis. What if your neighbors suck like next year? What if the management changes? What if you don't like the area? How do you know in a country that you can't legally stay in more than 1 year at a time that this is the exact place that you want to buy and stay? It just, it might make sense to a lot of people, but it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm the wrong guy for that because you can rent. I think the whole concept of renting, like where we come from, is not a good idea. But here, it's the logical thing to do. Like if you like Chiang Mai, you go rent a condo. You can negotiate like a really inexpensive price for a few months, and then head down into Phuket. If you really like it there. But on a side note, it's good to have a home base. I completely understand that for immigration purposes, especially if you're married to a Thai. But I don't know that you have to put a Thai person 51% because I know quite a few people that own condos that aren't married to a Thai. The thing is that the condo is owned, the building is owned by the Thai person. You only, I guess, own the unit, which is owned by the person. So I'm not the guy for that, Brett. I'm very sorry about that. Maybe somebody here can help him out on that question. Let's see what I missed here. I think here's to be honest with you, don't listen to me. Do whatever makes sense to you. But do take this one little tiny bit of advice. Come to Thailand, rent a place for 90 days, and then say, "Oh, this is the exact place I know I want to spend the rest of my time that I'm allowed to stay here in," and see if you like it. You might be able to figure out. There's a lot of I think you go to a place called Rent. What is it? RentHub.com. I don't know, Mitch, if you're still in here, if you could share that link. I think it's Rent Hub, and you can go look and do like virtual tours of all kinds of places to rent in Thailand. Yeah. CJ says land is 51%. You can own a condo in your name. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know quite a few people that own condos. And some people that I know have a lot of money, and it doesn't matter to them. So what they do is they go buy the condo in Kamala, and then they own a condo in Chiang Rai, and then they go adventure around Thailand at will. And a couple of them have had good luck selling their condo because they ended up, and it always had like, I don't like the condo, it's changed management, or they bought the condo prior to coming. It was a new condo, and then it didn't turn out the way they thought it was supposed to be agreed. It doesn't matter. You don't have any rights here, pretty much. So it ends up being a bad deal. But what it ultimately does, and I see this in a lot of people, is it puts added stress to you. Like you really become concerned about your atmosphere, like what's going on outside with the government. Like, oh my God, Patia is going to have a new election. Are we going to get a horrible mayor? Are we going to have who? When you're just flexible, you're like, you don't even think about these things. Like it really doesn't matter. Period. What happens? I don't like this shit. I'll just go down the road. It doesn't really matter to me. You become more fluid, and things become less irritable because I see that in a lot of people. They complain about certain things because they're locked in because they have a career here or they have a child, a home. They have responsibilities that have anchored them into a certain spot. Yeah. Waza Oz. I got some advice from a friend who has lived a long time in Thailand. He said to me, don't go too fast. And if you think you're going at the right speed, you're still going too fast. Yeah, just exactly. I mean, you need to keep your expectations down as much as possible, and you need to just take a deep breath and try to figure out, is this something I can be, can I be here forever? I have had a couple of people, and I've tried to sell their stuff on my Facebook page, that came here, bought a condo, bought a brand new truck, a big giant motorbike, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Not even 6 months later, I can't take this. I got to go. They're miserable, but they just came in and just, I'm here and I'm staying. Like, yeah, how did that work out? I'm not saying that is for everybody, that everybody's going to fail, but like this man's uh, suggestion is to just come here and take it all in and go slow. Rent a place for a while. You might not like the area through a whole season. Maybe you like it in the summertime, but in the rainy season it floods. Patty, good to see you. Don't buy. Yes, rent 1 month and feel the place. Yes, good advice. How is the heat been? Are you adjusted? You know, I'll tell you. Here's what happens: is that we're so used to in the West, like we go outside and we play outside in the heat. We run around outdoors. So when we come here, we kind of want to do the same things, and it's too damn hot. So if you go outside in the heat of the day, you're not going to see people standing out there playing in the streets they're like, they're kind of like vampires, but they're either sitting in front of the fan or they're in the shade. They have an umbrella, so you have to adjust. Um, you, you're not going to be able to stand out there in the middle of the heat. You're going to get sun poisoning. So, but I got a fan on me right now. So, and if it gets too unbearable, I'll turn the air conditioner on. But you just got to find shelter. Ron, John, you need to do what works for you. Yes, a lot of my friends here have homes. They have Thai wives or Thai girlfriends, and that was what they wanted to do. Like, that was their ultimate success at their end of their retirement and their life, that they wanted to have something that they could not just have a home base, but something that they can give to their wife or leave for their Thai family or something like that. I think it makes perfect sense to do what makes sense to you, right? Like, this is our house here. I know everybody, not everybody, a small little tiny portion of people like, oh, you're living off of I live Thai style. A lot of people live Thai style. They just don't do vlogs on the internet or give a crap about what anybody thinks about them. And I don't care, but I do vlogs. So, but this is my wife's house. Like, this is in her name. So I don't, like, we weren't 100% sure if this was going to work out when we got here, but we haven't really committed. We're not really committed. So we're like, well, let's try it. And then if it doesn't work out, then we'll go find a place and rent, long term. But we'll just make sure we keep this our home base for my immigration purposes. We don't necessarily have to live here full time. It's kind of what we're doing. But no, we really love being here. I love my Thai family. I love my circumstance, but I like my free time. I like my freedom. I like the fact that I can go do whatever I want and not have to worry about particulars. I don't, in the back of my mind, I don't have to, well, I got to get home because I got to check on this or do that, or I'm worried about something. The only thing I got to worry about is my mother-in-law going, where the hell are you guys at? Because she misses us after a couple of weeks, and she's got nothing to keep her entertained. Our Next Move, good to see you. You guys, make sure you check out Our Next Move Do Life channel. He is like a new member of the Thai society, going through the motions. People really love to see content like that as your channel grows, and your YouTube skills get better. Hope you stick with it, but people do like to see what happens to people as they're sharing their life on the internet. Love your backdrop. My wife and I loved your recent video despite the terrible circumstances associated with the accident while you were. Yeah, I made a video. You know that that wasn't really my thought of making a video, but most of the time that's the way my videos are. They're not really that thought out. It's just kind of sharing the moment, you know. But I thought that would be a good opportunity to remind people what my channel really is about, you know. And I think people tend to forget that. But you know, death. Well, I think a lot of Westerners they don't really think about death. We think we're going to live forever, you know, and then as the time passes and we lose a lot of things that we should have been doing, what was important in our life, we realize too late that we've missed those opportunities. So it was a good opportunity to be able to talk about what's really important. It wasn't good to come up and see that the thing. I mean, you see death a lot in Thailand when you travel. Like, you know, we were talking about the mass stuff. You know, people dying from COVID. Like, I haven't seen anybody really die from COVID, but I see people dying on motorbikes every time I'm on the road. Either I see a crash, a car crash after the fact, or I see a body on the side of the road. It's all due to uh, man, they have horrible habits, driving habits here in Thailand. Horrible. But life's unpredictable, you know? What are you going to do? Robert, good to see you. If I miss anybody here, I'm very sorry. I'm just skipping through everything we have. How many people do we have? 232. I think my maybe I don't really have a whole lot to talk about the government. You know, I think they were expecting that in this conversation, but we have our own difference in opinions on what all this, you know, this new health control situation means to them. But yeah, I just talked about it a little bit at the beginning. If you guys missed that, you can scroll forward. I mean, backward or forward or whatever. If you missed the live stream. Robert Chuck has great videos from almost everywhere in Thailand. Thank you. Yeah, we just, you know, some of my critics who've been here a long time, they don't hardly get out of their village. I'm like, I, I just share my adventure, you know, and I love to see different parts of Thailand and realize how different the culture is in different parts of of Thailand. Like, but I can't sit still normally. Seriously, I have to keep moving. I've been anchored my whole life, and now I'm like free. That's one of the reasons why I was annoyed initially with the COVID. You know, it's like winning the lottery, and you can only get $100 at a time. You know, like shit. Let me take my own chance. If you want to jump out of an airplane, then do it. You know, I don't need somebody to tell me what's healthy or not healthy. Waza Oz, Thailand roads are crazy. I nearly got hit badly just pulling out from a side road with a truck on the wrong side. Yeah, you really gotta look what you're doing here in Thailand for sure. Every time I'm on the road, I'm avoiding an accident. Every single time. You don't want to get comfortable behind the wheel, and you don't want to get angry. And the thing about it is they're not doing it intentionally. Like road rage here, I will say like Buri Ram, they drive crazy and they like to beep, and you don't want to beep back because they get angry. Bangkok, it's kind of the similar thing, but people are like they're in their own little world. One of the worst habits for me is like they pull out in front of you and they can't find the damn gas pedal. Like they don't want to rev their engine past 1.5, you know, revolution, you know, 1,000, 1,500 revolutions per minute. You know, like they're like, what are you doing? You know, you just want to, you want to kind of clip them on the side, flip them around, and just. Sorry, I hate that when they do that, or they speed up and they get in front of you at the red light, and then they take forever to accelerate. Driving is fun in Thailand. A lot of fun things to see. Make sure you have cameras, by the way. Mr. Triple Jack 82, good to see you. There's soy dogs everywhere. It's very dangerous on the roads. Yeah, and sometimes the dogs they're very sabai sabai too. Thailand dogs, you know, they just lay in the middle. You beep at them and they look at you like, "Can't you see I'm laying here? You know, what do you want?" Aaron, yes, my brother-in-law is from Buriram. I rode with him one time from Karat to their home. There, and it scared the crap out of me. Roof Pizza, interesting name. Do you cook pizzas on roofs? In the Philippines, they turn off their headlights to save gas. It's a funny thing, people with their mindset. The other day, I was driving and I just noticed these two people driving. They did the whole thing, took off real slow. Look over, they're both wearing face masks. You know, it looked like a daughter and their grandparent, a girl and her grandpa driving a brand new little Toyota. I can't get around, and we come to another stoplight. She puts it in park, which is a crazy habit I think they used to do a long time ago. I asked my father in law who did that. I said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "Back in the day, they were worried about getting hit in the back and being pushed into traffic and getting killed by an oncoming truck." Not only does he put it in park, he pulls the emergency brake too. Like, well, that's pretty scary, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so she did that with her car, and then she took off like really, really slow. Like holy crap! But another thing they like to do is when they get into the parking lot, they pick their hood up, so they think they're going to cool the engine down. I mean, most cars now have electric cooling fans, and that most of the engines are aluminum. Like they pretty much cool off pretty quick anyway. But it's just old habits, you know. Fuel is for me. It's I don't have to put Gucci fuel in my vehicle, so it's 32 baht a liter here. It went up a couple of baht. Didn't really go up that much for me, but premium diesel and gasoline is super crazy right now, which is of course it's going to cause inflation. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, inflation." Well, if you stop working for like a whole year and then gas price, I mean, what do you think's going to happen? You know, we shut the damn world economy down for this stuff that's for this thing that I don't know why it wasn't going to go away anyway. Like, what are you going to do about it? You know, it's never going to go away. I don't want to keep bringing that up. Robert, stuck in Florida. Yes, I did notice that they like horns for emergency. If you're going to beep a horn in Thailand, don't lay on the horn, which I've seen people do that. But if you do that to the wrong person, you're going to have an incident. Just kind of tap, beep, beep, and that's usually never a problem. Mitch, let's not forget to open our hood bonnets at the rest stop. Yeah, that's what I just said. I don't know why they think that that's an important thing to do. I think, what are you, broke down? If your engine's hot, the fan will kick on. Don't worry about it, knucklehead. But I don't. I think a lot of those people they don't. That's another problem too. Is seeking out information. You know, whatever somebody tells them. Uh, and I'm not saying they're stupid. I mean, there's a lot of people like that over, especially in the U.S. They just believe everything that they hear and not try to figure out uh, the truth behind it. You know. Let me see if I can change my background here. Had a really good time on our trip with the ladies, everybody. I hope you guys watch those series of videos. One of my favorite places is up on the border, Chiang Kan. Chiang Kan it's a beautiful old town with a nice market. Um, during the actually it's a lot of Thai people go there right now, so it's pretty busy. Good night, Patrick. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we had a really good time on that trip. Always we have a good time with. I think you guys maybe get a little you see different parts of well, I guess you see the same stuff just a different spin on it. Mike, stuck in Florida. I know two guys in the U.S. over 30 years old and can't even change a tire. Sometimes tech. I mean, yeah, you should know how to do simple things like that. You don't want to have to be stuck out. Having to sit in a desert waiting for AAA to show up. You should be able to do that stuff. As a man, I think we should all know how to make a fire and cook bread and stuff like that. But with technology these days, and you know, things are easy. Like you don't really have to do shit. You just get on your phone and you just call whatever service, and they'll bring you whatever you want. You can pay for it right there, or they'll pick you up and take you here. Doing everything is just at the touch of your phone. So I think it's good and bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just an age gap thing. I think because I feel like the same way. Like you should know this crap, right? But with technology, it's like why? Everything is super easy now. You guys can live back in the Stone Age, and I'll just call somebody to do it for me. Who's the stupid one? So there's another side to that story too, I guess. Aaron, truly look forward to your videos, Chuck. It's my end of the day relaxation time. I sit on the back porch with a gin and water and watch y'all's videos. I think finally, after 5, 6 years or 6 years or so, I got people. I'm trying to bring you Thailand, right? I don't want to talk about some stupid little. I mean, there's only so much you could talk about Thailand. It's not going to last very long. That's why people they spend time here and then they travel to other places, which hopefully we can do soon too. And I'm just bringing it to you. And I think 30 minutes is it's compact, a lot of stuff that happens throughout the day. But anyway, I've luckily I haven't had a flat tire yet. I haven't even used my 4-wheel drive yet. Aussie in Asia, Chuck, have you ever had a puncture on your ride? I guess I just answered that before I. No, I've had a slow leak once before. Actually, no, I had a flat tire in Koh Chang one time. I actually made a video on it because it was funny. We went to this little independent, well, they're all little independent places. The guy was half drunk, and he was trying to take my tire off without jacking it up. I'm like, dude, I'm about to sidekick you. What are you doing? And he like snapped out. I said, oh shit. I said, let's just go. I told Bay, let's just go to the store and come back. He scratched my wheels, taking the tire off, but I don't remember if he fixed the damn tire or not. But it was an experience. Just got to laugh it off. Sidekick you. Hmm. I had a lot of leaks on my bicycle because there's all kind of crap on the roads. But last time I went back, I bought some of that green slime inner tubes. Them things are heavy though, but yeah, I haven't had any problems with that. Okay, here's a question from Mr. Triple Jack 82. Do you really get sick if you drink tap water in Thailand? I think that's a good question, but I think it depends on you, right? I mean, a lot of people they come here and eat a sausage from a vendor and they get sick. I think it depends on your system. The same with this whole damn thing. It depends on the strength of you inside because Thai people could eat fermented raw disgusting things that would probably kill us and they don't get sick. But typically they don't drink tap water here. Now, do they? I'm sure in rural areas that's what they do. But water is so easy to get here, and there's always a guy driving around with trucks delivering water, and bottled water is pretty cheap here. But we have a filtration system that we use in the house to cook with. So I imagine if you're boiling water, it doesn't really matter. But I don't know if you've tasted the water like in the U.S., but it tastes like chemicals. Like you wouldn't want to drink that damn water for sure. Did I miss Key? Hey, Key, how are you? I want to get you on the channel one day. I'll have to contact you if you got time to get up early and make yourself presentable. I'd like to put you on the channel next or soon. Let me know how you feel about that. With Charles, if Charles could come on too, that would be great. Mr. Lewis, good to see you. Hola, I'm assuming you're still in Mexico. I see some of your posts. Looks like you're enjoying life. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, you can buy. We bought a purifier, water purifier here. That's actually from America. It's like a 6 filter type thing. We get the filters. We change them every 6 months, and we can get it online. Aussie in Thailand says, I've had food poisoning twice, both times after KFC. When I first got to Thailand, I had a difficult time. They immediately took me to, I didn't get no sleep coming off the plane, and I was so excited, and my system was like shut down. We went to go eat some seafood place in Bangkok, and well, I was just eating and eating and eating. And man, we couldn't pass up a bathroom. And this was back when they didn't have like real toilets. Like they only had a lot of squatters, and it was not fun driving from Bangkok to Tapanom. Corvette Rudy, how are you? But my system is good now. Like I think the last time I really got sick, and it's my fault, they had cow placenta stew, and I was like, it smells pretty good. And Paige is like, don't eat that, don't eat that. I said, let me get a little taste, and it was good, and I had a couple extra tastes, and literally 5 days I was really hating life. Good way to lose weight though. Corvette, Rudy, howdy, Chuck, and all my YouTube family. Love all your videos, learning a lot about Thailand and honor and honing up on my Thai language through you. Thank you very much. Sasha, good to see you. What was the most challenging thing about moving to Thailand from the United States? That's a very good question. I'm going to say that for me was the language barrier. It doesn't matter to a lot of people because it's a lot of areas where most people live, they speak some English. You can get by. But I wanted to be part of the conversation. Like I wanted to, live in Thai style. I wanted to be part of that. So I had a difficult time and trying to get the translation from my wife and bugging her about stuff. It's like, so I went, it's one of the main reasons why I started to go to school. My teacher would teach me a lot about culture too. And you don't have to just learn the language. You got to understand how they think too. Like a lot of things they say, we say they just wouldn't say. So you don't want to try to build a Thai sentence with the mindset of a Westerner because it doesn't sound right, if that makes sense. But to answer your question, for me, was the language. Hey, Waza says you have said you are currently on a diet. Eat cow placenta. That will work. Yeah, definitely. If that's all you ate, probably die. Probably get a few extra worms in you to help out with the rest of the food. Vicky, when is Brent coming? Brent and Lori, or Lori or Brent, or whatever floats your boat, are coming June. I think they land June the 9th. No, yeah. What's the date? June the 19th. Yeah, that's when they come. Corvette Rudy, thank you so very much, sir, for that. You are definitely an awesome individual. Thank you. That will definitely buy Paige a crap load of beer. I keep getting somebody keeps trying to hack. Well, this has been going on for a while. Her Patreon account and the PayPal account. They keep trying to. They're sending her stuff. If you ever get something from, if you guys have a PayPal that says, "Oh, we suspected some kind of uh, suspicious activity on your PayPal," you need to log in and go through the steps to get your account back because we seized your account. Don't ever click on something like that through an email. Just get off and go to your regular Facebook and log on how you normally do, because a lot of times they want to get your password so they can they can get your, take your money. A lot of people pretty much know that, but these guys are really trying really hard here lately. One of them, I know who it is too. Like he really is trying to hack the PayPal account, and it shows that his email address. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. And not only are you trying to break into you live in Thailand and you're trying to get into a Thai person's account. My wife just is not really interested into pursuing it right now. But we have all of the people are stupid. What are you going to do? Hit them in the head with a pipe? Mr. Triple Jack 82 says, yes, something happened with your account, Chuck. I've had to subscribe 3 times. It unsubscribed me. I don't know what you're talking about if you're talking about my YouTube channel, because YouTube, that's YouTube. Their system has sucked ever since they went like fully automated at the beginning of this crap. Hang on one second. And they go through these like spam accounts, and if it's not an actual account, they'll delete it. But I don't know what they determine what that means, because a lot of people have said, hey, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you unsubscribed me from your channel. Like I don't have the abilities to do that. Like that's on YouTube. And I ask people all the time to please check and make sure that they're still subscribed. Um, yeah, Mike, I might need a good attorney if you know one. If actually, I have a really good attorney here. I just it all has to do with if she wants to pursue it or not. But yeah, that's a pretty good fine for trying to do that in Thailand. And I should, but I'm just letting it go as long as it can. It's kind of comical, actually. Anyway, yeah, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, because YouTube is nobody's home. Yeah, that sounds about right. I've had a lot of people get unsubscribed to the channel. It has nothing to do with me. It's the system. The way it works, you guys don't see it, but I'll wake up and I'll have a certain number, and then I'll put a video out, and then like I'll lose 20 subscribers. Like I just made the worst video on the planet. Like everybody hates me now. I don't know what happened, but I got nothing but positive feedback. But it's just the system. And then the next day, I'll get them back, gain a couple, and then it'll take. It's just I used to use that as a tool. Like, okay, I made a pretty good video, people liked it. Um, I got a lot of subscribers, or I got a negative feedback and lost. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about that, or maybe I should talk more about that. Whatever. But now I can't gauge anything on that because it's just a computer. Yeah. Patty, how many kilograms were you when you got to Thailand? Now you look like 91 kilogram. Actually, right now I'm 93, but thank you very much. I think I was like 85. I know I don't remember, to be honest with you. I didn't really think about it too much. I was a lot bigger then. Like I worked out a lot. Now I don't. I need to, but I yeah, keeping weight off as a YouTuber, as a traveler, is difficult. I'll say that, but I'm still fasting, which is the easiest thing for me to do, is to try to stop eating at a certain time. And if I cheat myself, then that means I have to not eat breakfast at a certain time. So that's been working pretty good. Why? Thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. I think the fasting thing is going to work, but you don't gain weight like overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight either, unless you just stop eating. But last night I didn't get a chance to eat an early dinner, so I ended up walking to the market and getting a salad. So I only had salad and a couple pieces of mango for dinner. Brock, are you leaving me? Thanks for coming by, Brock. I appreciate it, sir. Yeah, the zero carb thing definitely worked. You know what the problem is when you mention online that you're going to do something like you mentioned politics or you mention health, diet, relationships, you've always got like a lot of people that want to tell you what works for them, which it's great. But the problem is that not everybody has the same situation in their life where diets work for them, but I did one time in my life just go on a zero carb diet, and it's easy to lose the weight. I mean, most of the weight is water weight, you know, but it's easy to lose 10, 15 pounds pretty quick. And I did that for a couple, doing the Atkins diet like for 2 weeks. Aaron Hale says 19 hours. Where'd it go? Oh, I lost you. Hang on. That's pretty good. I'm going for 16. Robert, Chuck, did you ever get that pizza oven or build one? No, I'm gonna wait and until we do the pool thing. We're still gonna build a pool one of these days, and I'm going to. They sell a pretty cool looking one from China, and I'm just gonna buy that. Intermittent zero carbs, 4 days no carbs, then one day with carbs. We travel when we travel. Like we just got back from. I don't want to blow at the. Well, you guys know I'm in Udon, so because I did a live stream there, but so many of my subscribers are there, so we they want to buy us breakfast, lunch, dinner, have a couple beers. So it's what are you gonna do? Sit in your room and diet. So I do what I can to try to keep it at a 16-hour interval on the fasting as best as I possibly can. The thing about it is that I'm a lot of times when I'm home, like I ride my bike a lot, and if I only eat one meal, like I feel like I'm going to pass out. I don't think that's safe. Like if anybody's ever been in the military, they don't do one meal things like you a lot and you eat a lot of food, right? That's the thing. Like with people that are athletic and in sports or very active, you don't eat one meal, you're going to get sick. So if you don't do anything all day but watch YouTube videos, then one meal a day is really all you need. But if you're going to eat one meal and be very active, I think it could be detrimental to you. That's just my opinion because I just know how I feel. I gotta get something in me, or I start shaking. Yeah, I don't Aaron. I don't like fast like for 24 hours straight. But I feel like if I could just not eat while I'm sleeping, I sleep 8 hours a day, which is pretty good. So I just cut my meal off around 4 o'clock, and then I get a late breakfast, and then I'm done. Unseen Thailand and Chiang Mai. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Yes, I think you just hit it on the head. Half the fun here in Thailand is eating the food. You know what? Do just be happy, right? Just I only want to lose my gut because it's uncomfortable for me, and I don't like the bloated feeling when I'm going to bed. So I need to lose a little bit of my gut. I don't really care what anybody thinks about me. Obviously, like when we're in a group, I'm like the only one walking around with my belly sticking out. I don't care. I don't really care. I enjoy the food. I'm gonna stay happy. I only do what makes sense for me. I'm not. I'm not trying to be something to appease anybody else for sure. Anyway, we got on this kick about dieting. We were having a good chat about coming into Thailand, stuff like that. But I know dieting is a hot topic at our age. I start mine at 10:30 at night and end it by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. the next day. That gives me 6 hour window to eat. Like just like that, that works for you. You have to figure out, whatever works for you and try that. But I figure cutting down the carbs and exercising, you're going to lose the weight. If you got to put in less food than you're actually burning. That's the whole key to losing weight, right? So just do that, and eventually you'll lose weight. You know, if you're in Thailand and you're skinny, the Thai people do think there's something wrong with you, like you're sick or you don't have any money. Wadman P. Hi, Chuck. Your Fortuner seems solid mechanically, but how is the interior knob switches markings holding up? Good question. No one's ever asked me that. Um, you know what? That's been the perfect damn truck. I had it aligned one time. The tires last forever. I only thing I did to it was I put a better. I keep my tires inflated almost to the max because I want the stiff ride, and I put some stiffer shocks on that thing because I want it to be stable because the roads are crazy, like unpredictably bad here. But as far as the interior, now I mean, you just go through like some rugged terrain sometimes. No rattles, and I've worked on cars most of my life, and I did a lot of noise uh, specialty stuff, but mostly in suspension. But sometimes those noises were inside the car that you had to figure out, and they weren't outside. Trim panels, pieces, all kind of stuff. But this has been it. Every car dealership has a service center behind it, so not all of them are gonna last. So, but I've had really good luck with the Toyota truck, and I've always recommended Toyotas for many reasons. All right, adios, Rudy. Go have some Mexican food for me. That's probably the first thing I'm going to do is get some Mexican food. I don't know. They got a Whataburger. If you guys know what that is, probably not. But in the airport, I may hit that first. Here we go. Here's one. Vicky says, "Why do you call a truck? Is that a Texas thing?" It could be a Texas thing. Same in Thailand. Like a dog's a dog, a cat's a cat. It's a white cat, black cat. You know, we don't. I think a lot of people they like specifics. They like to call things exactly what it is. But from a mechanical standpoint, this SUV is on a truck chassis. Like everything about it is a truck, and I'm kind of like a suspension chassis guy, and it just has a SUV body on it. And what difference does it make? To me, it's a truck. I don't think it really matters too much, but it seems to be a button pusher for some. But the reason why I do it is just because I think it's a Texas thing too. Yeah, like a Coke is a Coke. Like, you want a Coke? Okay, what kind of Coke do you want? I want a Sprite. I don't know. We just don't think too much, I guess. Maybe that's a good reason why I don't have too much of a problem here most of the time because I try not to overthink everything. Gator Jake, good to see you. Chuck, I got to bail for now, brother. Cheers. I didn't even know you were in the house, bro. Sorry about that. Thanks for stopping by. It ain't a car. Sometimes I'll call it a car. I don't know. What the hell different? Whatever. I just say get in a car. But most of the time I just say truck. Marietta, we have a white Ford Forerunner here, and I wonder how much it will cost in Thailand. Chuck, you mentioned it on one episode, but just you have a Forerunner. I don't know that you can get that here, can you? I don't. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can. I don't know that you can go online and search for used vehicles and this and that, but I paid the Fortuners, especially the TRDs, are way overpriced. I paid a little over $1 million for mine, but it's one of those things I don't ever want to. I don't want to replace. I don't know how much that would cost. Now you can buy a good used truck here for about 10,000 US dollars. Oh, the Forerunner. See, I don't even remember. So it's basically the same as kind of the same as a Fortuner. But I thought the Toyota there was another. I can't remember the name of that was more similar to a Fortuner than the Forerunner. Dip Media, good to see you. Lee, good to see you. Frank, good to see you. Okay, Felipe, thank you for stopping by. You guys have a great time in Phuket. I know you will. James says it's a Reese's peanut butter cup. Is a Reese's peanut butter cup a candy bar? Candy bar. I can't even see. Don't ask me. I can't even speak. Sorry, I just want to steer this conversation back to things that really matter. If if I wasn't going to travel a little bit, James, maybe when I get here, I'll bring you a big ass box of Reese's. Try to keep it from melting and send it to you with some Crown Royal. I would not call that a candy bar. No, call it a Reese's. Frank, good to see you back in Thailand later this year. Good to see you. Janet Dean, love driving our rental Helix when we visit. Rental cars are always good to drive. Lee says Forerunner and Fortuner are the same, but I don't think they have the 3 liter or the diesel, the little diesel engine, and then maybe they do now. Dip Media, hi Chuck. Thanks for the videos and for sharing your life and adventures. Thank you for coming with us. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, I don't really have a lot of info on the pricing of but I mean, I paid $1 million. If it's the same, you're talking about, you can get a. You don't necessarily have to get the TRD, um, but you can get a Fortuner or a used one for a pretty good price. I think the quality is still just as good. But I wanted the better suspension that the TRD has. Aaron says yes, they have one in Magnolia now. Whataburger. They've always had a Whataburger in Magnolia. I think. Yeah, they've had one there for a long time. I think. Michael Thompson, good to see you. In your opinion, what are the best and worst things about Thai houses and homes? I think the best thing, like for where I come from, things are made from sticks and paper. The houses are pretty solid here. Um, I don't like the fact that the open air concept, where you have bugs and crap flying in, and it's kind of expensive probably to air condition the whole thing because it gets so hot during the day. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing about just renting, anyways, is if you're not happy where you're at, you can leave. Condo might be more efficient to cool down, or a smaller little bungalow, but I think they're sturdy. I don't know. I don't like to spend too much time in them. Hang on, let me back up here. Is there a mail service there? Do you have a mailbox? How do utilities work? We visited Janet Dean's mom and Mahasalakam and didn't notice a mailbox. No, they hand deliver. Some people do have mailboxes in front of their house, but a lot of times the guy will just walk in and hand deliver the mail. Of course, there's mail service. They have a good mail service here, actually. Utilities, there's a little tiny little slot, like a little plastic thing, and they put the bill in there, and you can just you can go to 7-Eleven, or you can go to an ATM machine and pay that, or go online and pay that as well. Jack Hayden, I know everybody's budget is different. Love to know what you spend just on an average. I mean, you guys see, I travel quite a bit. So I did do a video not too long ago. And basically, it's difficult to say what I spend, but last year, I think it was last year, or maybe the year before. Last year is a little bit more, but I spend just a little over about a million baht uh, a year here. I spent quite a bit more than that this last year, because we had to put a roof on the house, and I spent like 10 grand in America, but I had to buy a new computer too. But we travel excessively, but I spend about a million baht, over a million baht a year in Thailand. And I give my family money. I probably give them enough money that we could probably rent our own place. But I mean, we pay for the utilities. I got better internet, so I want to pay for all that, and then they're always cooking. So I just want to make sure that they have money for that. Even if we're not here, when we spend most of our time gone, I still give her the money. Wadman. A feature I don't like about many Thai homes is the central room with bathroom and bedroom doors off to the main room, no separation. I said if you're just renting, then just move. If you're building, or you and your wife own the house, you can change it however you want to. How are the Thai citizens taxed? It's like like a 7%. I don't know. I have to ask Paige. I think it's like 7%. If you own a business, you got to pay quite a bit of like workman's comp type stuff, and like her father pays a crapload of taxes. For inventory, basically the same as the West. But for businesses, I think it's like 7% they got to pay on their earnings. They can still have their deductions and all that stuff too. Do you spend over two? Oh yes, I am lucky to spend less than 3,000 a month, but we travel a lot. Uh, yeah, normally I spend close to 100,000 baht a month, but most of the people don't travel like we do. Here we go. Here's a video. How much I spent in 1 year in Thailand. Thank you very much, Mike, for that. I knew it was there somewhere. Patty, you feel bad for staying in the house. I don't know what you mean by that. If I stay too long, I feel mentally stressed. I feel like you're probably saying, do I feel bad for living with my in-laws? But I kind of think that's what you're saying. But I live Thai style. The thing about living Thai style is most Westerners can't relate to that. Like that's not something that they would do. Like they would never do that. But I love living Thai style here. And if it was something that was weird or a little bit uncomfortable, I wouldn't be here. Like my mother-in-law is not going to just allow me to stay in her house if I was an asshole. So it just works here. But unless you mean, do I feel bad for staying? Well, I can't stay here more than about, like, after about 10 days, I'm trying to figure out where we're going to travel to next. But I love it here. And if I was to move out, my mother-in-law would be really devastated. Uh, in a Thai family situation, yeah, she would be heartbroken if we decided to move for forever. Gav, do you Do you any Farang friends in your city? They come and go, mostly here because it's a border town, so people come in and out. But friends, most of my friends in Thailand, they don't live here, but we've all got our own lives, only our own things happening. So we're not constantly trying to figure out how to be around each other. And I think that's the biggest problem with people here, the foreigners here, like they're close by and they kind of expect a little bit of my time as a friend. And when I don't give it to them, they get really sensitive about it, like I'm intentionally not wanting to spend time with them. So it never really works out. I'm pretty much a loner. Like I don't have time for anybody, just me and my wife, my family, mostly just me and Paige. And people get a little bit weird about it and they just kind of stop coming around. But I don't mean anything by it. I just sometimes I don't feel like, or I'm too busy to try to hang out. I have no interest in really hanging out, drinking coffee, and talking about Thailand. you know. Ty Chuck, what is your favorite island and why? I haven't been to the island besides Phuket. Don't plan on going back to Samet Chang. Don't plan on, or you don't plan on going back. Is it? I guess you're asking me to the island besides Phuket, Samet Chang, or Samui. My favorite island is Kalkut, which is just outside of Gaot Chang, close to Cambodia. I love Gaot Chang. I think Kalkut is very peaceful, very beautiful. It has everything I need there. But I don't know. My favorite thing is traveling. Like I like to go to different places a lot. Each island, I think I won't like Samui when it gets busy. Same with PP Island. If PP Island's very beautiful, but when it's full of tourists, I probably won't like that. So it just depends on what you want, what you're looking for. Koh Chang, it's got everything on it. Like it's huge, and you can definitely enjoy certain parts for long periods of time. I'm skipping through some of the question, guys. I apologize if I'm missing you. Really, it's difficult. We're down to 172 people, so it's getting a little easy. Marietta, your mother-in-law totally loves you, and you can tell from watching your video. You're very lucky to have Paige. Yes, I am very lucky, and they're very lucky to have me as well. It just works out. Like if it wasn't what we wanted to do, especially with Paige, like if I wasn't what she expected, she would have never decided to be with me. And if I wasn't the person who I am, I couldn't live in this house with this family. And same, the other way around. So um, we kind of chose this prior to moving here, not really knowing if it was going to work or not. Um, but yeah, Patty, for what happened to the big Norwegian, he went about his business. Not really much to talk about there. Not really interested in the big Norwegian. Louis Cabo, thank you very much. Chuck, what do you think about Hua Hin as far as a place to live? Okay, let me back up on some prior comments I had about Hua Hin because I don't like the city. Like, I think it's the people are kind of, if you go into like the entertainment district type area, which is kind of, well, you kind of probably know where it's at. I don't really care for it that much. And I don't like the fact that you can't get on there's no beach access from the road, and most of it are accessed from the hotels. But outside of Hua Hin's pretty big, and Paige is always telling me, look, it's not fair to say that about Hua Hin, that Hua Hin's pretty big and there's a lot of good areas. So she took me there on our last series of videos through there. So right outside of the city, it's almost like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Very beautiful on the water side, and a lot of places to stay. And if you want to be in the city, go to the mall and get some good food. You could just drive right into town. So I think I'm going to back up and say I think Hua Hin is a pretty good choice. We're actually going to take my friends there on the very first stop. We're staying at the Hilton, which is kind of over the top, but I want them to have a very good time in Thailand. But yeah, Hua Hin is a good place to check out. I wouldn't try to stay anywhere long term. Sasha, how did you meet Paige? I made several videos on this. Paige lived in America for 34 years. I actually met her in America, had no interest in Thailand until I met her. Lucky Bar Productions, good to see you. When you come to Houston in July, come to Lake Charles, Louisiana, Golden Nugget, and have a few drinks. I would love to go there, but I'm not going to go. Your wife is from Top Panome. However, she's been here for 39 years and she's 47. That's Paige is 46. Been there 30. Was lived in the U.S. for 34 years. So she's mostly American. But yeah, no, we won't even be going that way. My mom's going to come from Mississippi and pass through there, but I don't think she'll be stopping at the Nugget. Thank you very much for that. You never know. I'm sure we'll be that way one day. Anyway, again, thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. Just observing, yes, that's a big no. Like I don't really, I don't. Are you ready to plant your free pot plant? I used to smoke a lot of weed, like when I was a kid. Like the very last time I ever did that was New Year's Eve, 1990, and had a bad experience that night that drove me to never do that again. H Town Patia, how are you? Greetings from Suren. I finally got a truck, and you have given me lots of places to put on my bucket list. What kind of truck did you get? Thank you very much for watching. Gav, is Hua Hin better or where Joe is living just south of there? Guys, I am the wrong person to ask this question. Like, I don't think living anywhere permanent in a country that you're only allowed to stay in at a year's time is trying to figure out a place to settle in, I think is nonsense. Um, it just doesn't make it makes sense from an outside perspective, but when you get here, sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes neighbors suck. Sometimes they buy a whole bunch of chickens and poop on your porch. I mean, a lot of things could happen in this country. I don't just kind of be flexible. Like live in both places. Like go to Hua Hin, stay there for a few months. Go to Prachuap, stay there for a few months. Find that place that you really like. I'll give you an example of from Klaus, my friend Klaus. He pays 90,000 baht a year, and he lives in an area that he really likes. Now he's told them I'm moving because it's too loud. Like and the a lot of times they have these little parties out there. The fishermen come and it's too loud, so they don't want him to leave. So they built a glass front, really cool looking little glass front place. I had it in my last video. And another reason why they did that is because the paint they restore some of the boats there, and the paint was blowing into the house. And it's like we just can't stay here. They went and found another place in town because they like the area. So they put a porch on there, and they're like, no, we want you to stay. So they accommodated them. But again, I'm the wrong person to ask about permanent stay. I think the best thing to do is be flexible. Dennis Perry, what food do you miss the most from back home besides barbecue? Going back in a couple of months and can't wait for a sub from Jersey Mike's. They have Jersey Mike's in Texas. I miss Mexican food. I miss like homemade, fresh tacos. Tacos El Carbon. I miss Modelo beer, which I shouldn't be drinking too much because that stuff is very filling. But I miss a good steak. Not necessarily going to a steak restaurant, but buying a good quality steak and putting it on the grill. As far as food, that's what I miss. But uh, I do miss a good barbecue too. Catch Bay, good to see you. Yeah, you already knew that because I told you it was over last time we had a conversation. John McFarlane, room 222. How are you, sir? Enjoy your videos. Chuck and Paige looks like a good family there. It's a very good. I'm very happy to be in this situation, and at this point in our lives, all of it, we should only do what makes sense to us, not what makes sense to anybody else. That makes zero sense at all. Only do what works for you. Period. Don't do anything based on what somebody else thinks about you or trying to fit in or any of that crap just because it's not going to work. You need to do what makes sense to you. Does Jack Hayden, does your family grow any food, veggies? No, they own property, though. They own quite a bit of property, actually, a couple of them rice fields. But my father in law leases them out to people to grow rice, but he never collects the money. Like, he just lets them grow rice there. He's happy to give. Curtis Jim Gimmel. Curtis Gimmel. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Chuck. If you had a choice of locations to live, I don't, I, and could bring your Thai family with you, where would you live? I definitely would not bring my Thai family. Like, that's never going to happen. Like, they don't want to go anywhere for longer than a couple of days. I know it's a hypothetical. How do I answer that question? Like, I don't know of any place I'd want to. I can't live anywhere long term. Like, I love Koh Chang, but I can't. Like, every time we go there, like, let's stay for 2 months. And after 10 days, I'm like, shit, I want to go. Um, I love the fact that I can travel anywhere I want to in Thailand. That's where I want to be. I want to be in Thailand. If I have to be anchored into one spot, I am not going to be happy, period. So I cannot answer that question. I love the fact that this is my home base here. I wish it was more like Nakhon Phanom because it's a lot more stuff is easily accessible and the view is much better. But I'm okay that I can just go ride my bike there and get away from everybody. So I kind of answered that a little bit for you, Nakhon Phanom. Gav didn't want you commenting on Joe's location. I don't know what you mean by that. Everybody knows Joe lives in Prachuap. I brought him there and he fell in love with the place. Joe's got a beautiful home, a beautiful life, and he's happy. And Joe's going to do only what Joe wants to do. Catch Bay, he's commenting to Stuck in Florida. Tom Yam Guy, I love where Klaus lives. I do too. And there's a good chance that my mom might live right next to him. I'm going to go see if she enjoys that area. But I think my mom's going to want to adventure around too. Maybe we're going to look at condos and renting a condo in Jomtien, possibly maybe a spot in Udon. We have for her whatever she wants to do. We'll figure that out. We got is time. H Town Patia, new Toyota four door Hilux. I miss El Tiempo restaurant in Houston. Anything close to Tex Mex food in Thailand. I've never tried any here. There's a couple of random places, right? Where we went to some place in Koh Samui where the owner's husband was Mexican and he would bring stuff from Mexico and make authentic Mexican food. So here's the thing though, you want to get authentic Tex-Mex, people may not like it here because how many Texas/Mexicans are in Thailand, so it's difficult. to find that kind of stuff here. Mostly, I'll say it's all kind of plain, like European. It's but there are. We went to a place taco I don't know taco something in Pattaya near Soy Bucao when you come yeah on Soy Bucao actually, and it was pretty good. I just skipped through a whole bunch. I apologize. Jim, I plan to go to Nakompanum August. Like to do that dinner boat thing. I remember you did a video. That's it. Fill up quick. Tips on tickets for that. Yeah, you can go on. Actually, I think we just did a video there. I took the gang there, and you can go on like Google Maps. I left some links on that video, and you can find that place, and you can go to their Facebook page, and you can schedule whenever you're going to come. Of course, August is a long ass time from now, so when you get closer to that, you can go on their Facebook page and reserve a table, or go the day before, go down there and reserve, or a lot of times it's probably going to be normal during that time, and they have two big boats. There's probably not going to be a problem uh, doing that. James, Chuck is actually building a home in Central Pattaya. He's also going to open up a bar. You hear it first. I really wish you kind of keep stuff a little secret, but I'm glad you didn't tell him about all the other homes and bars I own in Thailand. Carletto, I noticed that when you're traveling in your diesel SUV, that's pretty specific. Specific. You and everyone else don't use use differential fluid, DEF fluid. Diesel trucks there, do they use DEF in Thailand? I think you're talking about that additive that you put in the tank. I don't, they stopped doing that. That just kind of came out as I'd already gotten out of the industry. I think that's what you're talking about. No, they don't have an additive here. That's only if that's what you're saying. That's only an emissions crap thing that they have to use to keep the emissions down in those trucks. But if you come here, they got a serious emissions problem with these trucks. Hey Chuck, do you have the same itchy feet in the States? You know, I no, I mean we're all committed to our responsibilities. When before we came here, we have to do a lot of sacrifices to be able to earn the money to retire. So, no, I had to anchor down and do what I needed to do. But once I retired in the U.S., we traveled in a travel trailer, and I got to acclimate myself to not being anchored in anymore by traveling around for about 9 months in a travel trailer. Aaron, Gav, I don't know you, but sure if Chuck actually showed up. Tommy J, if I didn't say hi to you, I apologize. Good to see you here. Hello, everybody. Every time I skip down it, that damn thing scrolls over probably 10 comments. Lewis says he went to Tex-Mex in Pattaya, nothing like South Texas. Yeah, you're always going to be disappointed here with stuff that you think is going to be like home, especially steak. Tommy J. James, take Chuck to Route 66. I keep hearing about this place. I'm sure I'll get a chance to go there. We're going to spend some time in Jomtien next time. John, your mom might like Bang Sarai, Thailand. Not a lot of tourists there and close to everything. Hopefully she finds an area that she really enjoys. Yeah, diesel exhaust. I thought that's what you were talking about, but actually that stuff came out on diesels as I was, like I said, getting out. But no, they don't. No, they don't have that. It's not required here. They need to have some kind of emissions restraint here on some of the diesels, but not yet. Lee, they run premium diesel in most passenger vehicles in Thailand. That DEF is in countries like U.S. with strict emissions requirements. Yeah. I knew that's why they did it to begin with, because it was something that the manufacturer could get away with because the engine couldn't meet emission standards. So they came up with this chemical to run in there to drop it down. What is this? Steve, good day. Chuck is a travel trailer, a caravan. I don't know. Is a caravan a travel trailer? I don't know what a travel trailer is. It's a trailer that's attached to a vehicle. And then we have what's called a motor home, which is a trailer that you can drive. Brandon, good to see you. Yeah, AKA ammonia. I don't know. I didn't own any trucks at the time of me living there that needed that, and I probably wouldn't. Michael Thompson, FYI, the steak at the Lamai Resort in Koh Samui is great. I think if you go, like I said earlier, if you go to a lot of places where there's foreigners and you can find people that, let me back up. They do have quality meat here in Thailand. Not the same quality as you're probably used to, but they do not know how to cook steak. Like they like to cook the steak in a crappy way and then chop it up in little tiny pieces or pour a bunch of crap on top of it. It's usually thin and chewy. That's how they like it. But if you can go to a place where you have plenty of foreigners there and you have somebody that knows how to cook it foreign style, you can get a good steak. You can buy good meat here and cook it at home. Aaron, Chuck, that was in reference to the comment about if you were in Magnolia area, you are welcome to come over. I'll fire up the grill. Oh, I appreciate that, Aaron. We're gonna go. I don't think we're gonna spend much time in Magnolia. Oh shit! Hang on a minute, guys. My camera just my battery just died. Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on a moment, guys. I know everything looks really weird right now. My camera's supposed to be charging on my laptop, but obviously it's not. So let me take care of that right now by putting another battery in it. Give me just a second. So is life, right? Let's try that. I'm sure I'll get somebody. Hey, Chuck, the picture quality is just not that good right now. Let's try this. Okay, let's switch cameras over again. Hang on just a second, guys. I don't know if anybody can hear me still right now. Hang on. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that. What did I miss? Louis Cabo, thank you very much. Route 66 Dark Side and great reviews. Yeah, a lot of people have told me about the place, so I think I've got to go check it out. Yes, for sure, Aaron. Yeah, somebody's sending me a message. Hey, Chuck, your camera's not working. I don't know. I don't know if my sound wasn't working either because I was trying to talk my way through it. There is a sandstorm in Chiang Mai. We're fixing to get a lot of rain. There's a big storm coming up to the other side right now. Anthony, so are Fords reasonably priced in Thailand? Actually, no, you can't get an F-250 here. You can't get anything like that. You got to get something the size of a Ranger. You're not going to get a big truck like that. Are they reasonably priced? Let's see. I don't know what the prices are. Like, you're probably going to spend somewhere around $30,000 to $60,000, depending on what kind you want. I don't know. There's a lot of people probably watching this channel that have like the little Ford Rangers and stuff. You guys can mention what the cost of that is. If you watch this afterwards, maybe down in the comment section. And if I missed your comment, please put it down in the comment section after this, and I'll try to answer it the best way that I possibly can. Peter Ward in Northwest Cambodia. You can buy it here. They have good quality beef here, right down the road here in Sakonakon. You can get good cows, and I've made a couple videos on it. Thanks, James. Yeah, I don't know why my battery's supposed to be charging through my laptop, but I don't think it can keep up. I guess so. I just luckily I have a lot of these Sony batteries. Thanks, Black Sheep. I appreciate that. At least I'm not walking around, right? Lucky Bar, is it just me or is the building codes there interpreted differently by each builder? Notice that some houses have difficult configurations of piping, appliances. I can't answer that question. I have no idea. I apologize about all the home building, purchasing stuff like that. I'm just not the guy for that. I don't really know. I don't think it's too many building codes out here. If you look around, I mean, things are kind of like shanties, I don't know. I'm sure there are some kind of codes. Okay, skip back down. You cannot get a F450 dually here. That would be a bad thing to have. They actually, I think Robert, he said don't buy beef at macro. They have different types of quality of beef and macro, and depending on where you're at, macros are always a little bit different with their quality. So here you can get some decent beef. Of course, you got to prepare it, marinate it and cook it properly. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of comments about vehicles in Thailand. The Fortuner, I definitely say was worth the money. And you guys see, we've taken that. I've put almost 200,000 kilometers on that thing since I bought it. Frank Thomas, Chuck, the California and homeless population is out of control. How is it in Thailand? Okay, well, first off, people kind of take the, let me start at the beginning by saying people's needs in Thailand aren't that excessive like the West. So they live pretty simple lives. Usually, the people on the street are usually due to alcoholism, and there's no benefits to be home. You can get help from the government. You don't get that here, so it's not like an opportunity for them. But we just came, we're just in Udon, and I don't think I've ever seen so much homeless or people living on the street. I think they choose to do that more so than not having a home than I've seen in a long time. But I hear it gets pretty bad. So, and like during, the in Pattaya and stuff like that, there was a lot of people that were homeless because they ran out of money. Jim asks, "Hey Chuck, I'm waiting for Thailand to be 80% back to how it was in 2019. What percent do you think it is now?" I don't know what you're looking for. So for me, it's 100% perfect for me, except for I don't want to wear the stupid mask or feel like I'm being disrespectful by not wearing the mask. The mask thing is right now the only uncomfortable thing for me. But on a positive note about the mask, it's keeping a lot of people from coming, which I really enjoy the fact that it's quiet. So I don't know what your needs are to be able to answer that question. But as of right now, I think it's the best time to be here is now. Just depends on what you're expecting. John, don't worry about codes in Thailand. You can basically do what you want. Just have pay a little to get what you want. Yeah, in Thailand, it's all yeah, money, 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 money. I think, but that's pretty much anywhere in the world. Robert says there's lots of panhandler types in Bangkok. Yeah, I see that quite a bit. People just standing out on the side of the road with a bucket. Just you don't know what happened to these people, but there's not as much as you see in the tech in the states because there's not a benefit for it. Patty, there are quite a few uh, old vehicles here. Probably a lot. I think a lot of them are left over from Vietnam, but there's quite a bit of muscle cars here. They have a lot of shows. I've only seen a couple out driving on the road. Okay, we got Pad Thai here. So what the cop has Paige's paperwork matched, i.e., to passport same name? No, we didn't get her name changed, and that right now Thai people don't have to do the Thai pass, so she's gonna. I don't know how it's gonna work out yet. I think she could just come in, no problem, being Thai. Catch Bay. I've been driving in Thailand for the past year more than at home. Yesterday at the intersection in Finland, I put on the windshield. Yeah, I still every now and then, like if I got the camera and I'm a little distracted, I hit that wiper still. And I see my favorite car, 65 Mustang, twice in time. I don't think I've seen any. Maybe I've seen one Mustang. I seen a Corvette, like a new Corvette. I was like, holy crap, that is a lot of money to ship that thing here. And I don't know why you'd want to have that here. The roads are horrible. Yeah, I think Bangkok has a lot of car shows. I know Pattaya has a lot of car shows. I've been on for 2 hours now. You guys have a lot of questions. That's good. Yeah, there are Jeeps are very popular here. They don't sell them here though. I mean they do have places that sell Jeeps, but you can't buy them. Yeah, I've seen a couple of new Jeep Cherokees. I don't know where they came from. I don't know. I don't think you can get. They don't have Dodge here. Thailand drives on the correct side of the road. I mean, if you lived in America your entire life and you've never drove on the left, then we'd probably think different. I guess you know what I'm saying. That I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. towards the end of this uh, live stream. I've never seen so many people slip and fall and die, like men, just the men. Not, I don't think I've ever heard of a woman doing that here. It's the craziest damn thing, and it's almost like a conspiracy. Like that didn't really happen. Uh, in the past year, 3 people on our street have slipped, fell, and died. So this guy here, we walk by his house all the time, and I say good morning to him. He's got a little yappy dog, and we just got back home, and he died. He was, and the story is from you know what my mother-in-law tells me is he was working in the rice field, slipped, fell, and cracked his head and died. What are you going to hit your head on in the rice field? She just said, I don't know. He hit his head and died. Like, okay, that's strange. A lot of people slip and fall and die here in Thailand. Like, that's the thing to do, I guess. And the back of my mind, and this is bad, I think, man, maybe his wife got tired of him. I don't know. He just slipped and fell. But a lot of people, it's crazy. A lot of people this year and have died, slipped and fell, and busted their skull open. So anyway, he's gone. He wasn't that old. I don't think he was maybe in his 50s. You never know, right? You never know. Anyway, Jim, I've lived in Thailand in my late 20s and early 30s for the last 7 years. Been working in the U.S. and it's a snooze fest. Even the mayor, the city, by comparison. I'm so glad to not be involved, in the politics anymore. There's a lot of crap happening all over the world. And I feel like I could easily, like, sometimes I'll wake up and I'll watch some little news feed, and then it angers me. Like, why did I do that? Like, why do I want to start my day out listening to something that's out of my damn control? I don't know why I did that. But I feel like I can win in life if I just try not to let that thing get too personal to me and just do what I can do to try to enjoy every moment that I possibly can instead of getting caught up and all this crap. Best thing I ever did was just stop watching the news. But here lately, I've caught myself being kind of interested in the whole Elon Musk thing. As even though I was a mechanic most of my life, I feel like we should have been over fossil fuels 40 years ago. But because of power, greed, money, we're still doing the same crap over and over again. And I'm glad he's kind of revolutionized our thinking process and what we need to do for transportation. So I've been kind of keeping up on some of the drama with him. But sometimes it gets wrapped up into some political crap, because of course they're going to try to take him down. Carl, do you ever worry that you will run out of money and have to go home and work again? I think the opposite of that, okay, is that if you constantly are worried about running out of money, what are you doing? Like, I know a lot more people that are worried about running out of money that they just work. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, I got to wait till my 401k. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that, and then they've wasted their damn time. For me, what's the sense in worrying about it? Really, I mean, anything could happen in life. Most likely, you're probably going to die, and you still have money left over. Usually, what the case is. Not too many people just run out of money. But no, I don't. I don't. I didn't really put myself in a position to where that would happen. But anything could happen. So no, I don't worry about that, or I wouldn't be. I made a crap load of money in the United States. My friend who's coming over here to vacation, I got him a job for this company. Now he's like the top guy in this company. If I ever wanted to go back and make $1 million a year again, all I got to do is book a flight. I'm not interested in worrying my life about money. I hope you're not either. Mike, stuck in Florida, says a combustible engine with a transmission isn't very efficient. I've never understood it lasting so long. Money, greed, power, petroleum, all the government. I mean, yeah, it's a bad thing. I'm glad somebody's stepping up. Jim, sure you can make money in the U.S., but you're wasting your life otherwise. Yeah, some people live life to make money. Like some people have a lot of money because they don't like to spend money. Like that's the most important thing in their life is money. And that's to me, I don't understand that. That's what I guess makes them happy, but I don't see them being happy. Like it's never enough for them. And they definitely don't want to stop and start using all the stuff that they work so hard for, getting rid of that stuff because it took them forever to get to the point where they had this much. They don't want to start giving it away. It's just a bad cycle, but you know, good for them. Their family members will definitely enjoy it. Yeah, we should be running on hydrogen, some kind of. We should be right now evolve. Our automobiles should be evolved into something that we can't really think about right now. We should have got those wheels turning a long time ago. If electric cars were the way to go, we should be so sufficient right now with batteries. But it's all new right now. We should have been going this way and a long time ago. A lot of ideals came out in the 70s and the 80s and have been squashed by big oil. I can tell you one example. When I was a mechanic, they had this thing called a water drip system, and it attached to the carburetor. And this thing would itemize the fuel, and it would allow the engine to get crazy fuel mileage. Well, the rumor has it that Shell Oil Company bought this from this individual and squashed the whole thing. Like, I actually seen one of these work on a Chevy pickup truck, a big block 454 Chevy pickup truck. I saw that for the first time. I was like, what the hell is that? And the guy was so excited about it. He showed me all the, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then it just went away. Why didn't we try to use that to evolve into something better? But no, we just go back to trying to figure out how to charge you more money to keep emission standards down and buy more fossil fuels. But I understand the other side of that story. Like countries don't, they're making a lot of money, and it takes money to be a powerful, rich country. And if we steered away from that, what would we do? But I think we should have steered away. I think that money and all that stuff is going into the hands of the people that are telling you how to run your life. Every single. It's crazy that we've gotten to the point to where you've got millions of people in a country that are being run by a handful of jackasses. Like they're dictating what you can do every single day of your life. It's strange. I have a passport, so if things get crappy here, I'm just going to go somewhere else. Like I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to let it dissolve any of my time, because there's nothing I can do about it. Don't get me started on that. Working your whole life to retire, it's BS. It's like giving a squirrel nut after he's lost his teeth. I know a lot of people that a lot of people I've met here, they're not ready to commit to coming to Thailand because they're. I made a video called "What Ifs." If you got time, check it out. It's called "What If," and kind of explains in detail my thoughts on trying to live your life on what ifs. You know, anything can happen in life, and if you're scared of the what ifs, you're going to wake up one day that they didn't happen and realize it's over. Good to see you, my midlife adventure. and they never really heard my. Yeah, you hear some stories about people that have come up with stuff and then wouldn't shut up about it and then kind of disappeared. Yeah, Shell has over 1,200 patents shelved for some reason. It's crazy as a and I kind of dig into these people that are like like let's save the planet. These green people. Why don't we start with the main problem? Instead of trying to. The main problem is the governments. We've got to force our governments to make these companies try to figure out alternatives. Give them incentives to try to do that. But anyway, life goes on. Yeah, I think we can use this excuse for the battery to. Yeah, waste. I think what I was saying at the beginning is that we should have been able to evolve into something that we can't imagine at this point. Like this is brand new to us. We're just getting into brand new technology with lithium ion, and we should be somewhere that we don't recognize right now. But we've been halted. Like we've been living in the Stone Age with the combustible engines. Beef jerky and beer fixes everything. There you go, Stinky. You got the right idea, buddy. You're right about that. Here it's that moo dat diao. It's that sun dried meat that they fry. It's pretty damn good, actually. Unfortunately, it's really good. Paul Smith, you must know most have no intention of moving anywhere other than from the sofa to the fridge and back again. I think a lot of people are afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of not being in control. They're comfortable where they're at. I mean, we come from the land of comfort, where we have to constantly be comfortable, and we have to have convenience, and they're afraid to get out of that zone. And but that's okay. It's not for everybody. My dad lives in Hialeah, Florida. He's lived there his entire life. It's what he wants to do. He knows everybody there. When he gets his hair cut, everybody's happy to see him. It's what makes him happy. And I think a lot of people are like that too. So, but a lot of people, they never leave their hometown because they don't want the feeling of what if. So that's okay. I'll make videos. They can watch them, and then they can go to the refrigerator and back to the computer or the TV. Tom Yum Guy, where you are, Chuck, is good. People mostly live in one place, and nearby places love that old lady running around with her electric. You know what's funny about this place? When I pulled into the driveway, Paige looked at me funny because I said, "You know what? Everything here is exactly the same every single day." She's like, "What do you mean by that?" I'm like, "Well, what I really mean is before the COVID shit, people, there was celebrations, there was happiness, there was things happening. People were getting married, there was festivals. It was always like, man, what is going on every day with something? But now it's the same shit. Everybody's just doing their daily routine. It's the same. I could look at the street when I pulled in, and I knew exactly what everybody was doing. I was like, holy crap! I just pulled into the driveway, and I'm like, I got to go upstairs. But people do the same crap here in Thailand over and over and over. A lot of them have never even seen the ocean, and Thailand's about as big as California. But it's what I don't know if it's what they want to do or not. If I missed your comment, I apologize. Carl, I appreciate your videos and really agree with your philosophy on how to live life. Your life, just hard to follow through when most people want you to stay on the treadmill of work land, buying things. Yeah, when you live in a society where that's what's expected of you, you're supposed to act a certain way. you're supposed to get at a certain plateau in your life, and it's we find ourselves feeding into this, and we want to be in that clique. We don't want to be an outsider. You don't want to be, oh, this is a crazy guy that lives in the travel trailer behind his friend's house. We think the guy's got some problems, right? Or he's a loser or something. So yeah, getting away from that. I knew a long time ago I didn't want to be a part of that society. I made a I did everything I could to get out of that. I downsized my life while my friends they made maybe a quarter of the amount of money that I made, and they had over the top stuff like, hey, let's go out and eat. Now they don't even have enough money in their credit card to go to Jack in the Box, to go to fast food place. Like, what kind of life is that? You got a jet ski, two jet skis in the garage. You can't even put gas in the damn things. What are you doing? Like, nobody gives a crap about your stuff. Only you. Two people living in a two-story, four-bedroom home. What is wrong with you? But that's society. I could see that, and I could see how miserable other people were, and I was like, I don't want this crap. That's stupid. That's stupid. For me, it's stupid. Anthony Chuck, have you noticed the genuine pickup in activity in Thailand in recent months? Yeah, a lot of people are coming to Thailand now. Still not a lot of Chinese people. There are some coming. Yeah, I mean, I've shared a few videos of our travels. I think all of our travels, and you can see in those videos there is like, I was really shocked in Pi how many not expat, younger travelers were coming to that area. David Ramsey, be careful what you say. You might be monitored, Dave. In England, have designed a hydrogen engine, which they have run for months without any issues. UK government are not interested in it. Non-tox. Yeah, because there's no money in that. I mean, you can go back and look at some of the stuff that Tesla designed. You know, why didn't we go on that? Why, if we're so concerned about these environmentalists are so really concerned about that, instead of worrying about how much carbon I'm using, why don't you give me some other alternative than carbon? No, because you want to tax me on something that's my only friggin' choice, right? Or build some kind of infrastructure where I can get around easily on mass transit, But like especially in America, like you go on the freeway, like in Texas, gas is pretty cheap normally. Normally, everybody's driving around in one vehicle. Like the friggin' road is congested with a bunch of people who hate their life. They're going somewhere that they don't want to be and stuck in front of you or behind you, and they hate everybody around you hates you. It's retarded. You guys are stirring me up, man. Robert, hi. We'll be in Thailand next month. I'll drop up and say good day. Might bring you some fresh Vegemite. The Vegemite won't get eaten. You can bring it. I'll thank you for it, but I won't eat it. And make sure we're home though. But Mafia and my father-in-law are always here. You're more than welcome to stop by and say hello. They would like that. Charles Gallagher, Mr. Mitch looked like they love Mitch. They love people that are happy, that smile, that eat their food. They like friendly people. I think most people in the world feed off of how you are. And definitely in Thailand, you always get back what you give. A lot of people have bad experiences in Thailand. I asked them maybe they should look at how it started to begin with. Could it be the fact it's something that they started? If you're not a friendly person, you don't expect people to go out of their way to try to be friendly to you. So, but they like friendly people. And they can tell when somebody's, you know, a lot of times, like some of the people that come over, they don't really care for their wife, because they try to put themselves in a better, I don't know, women are, they can tell right away if they like some, like with Paige, like if she's hanging out with another one of my subscribers, friends or wives or whatever, it's because they like each other. They won't hang out with them just because. Carl, have you experienced any downsides to being on YouTube and sharing your life? Yeah, there's downsides to every job that you do or everything that you do, or you experience, you share your experience on a computer, and not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody likes the way you edit. I mean, you constantly get criticism, but because it's just a place that you can be any, as a commenter, you can be anything that you want. And I think a lot of people, they like to say stuff because they want to get a reaction from me. They want to get me upset or riled up. I used to play that game because it was my entertainment too. I love to go back and forth with somebody, but it doesn't work on the internet. So I just delete them. Like, it's not necessary. Not that it's not because they're disagreeing. It's because they're trying to be like, they're trying to, their only purpose is to insult me and get me riled up. That's the only thing I have with, and it's really not a problem anymore. I just delete it and move forward. If it was, I just wouldn't do it. But I think some of the other YouTubers and that feel like, I don't know. Oh, it's. I think it's the Western mentality. We're always trying to step over somebody else to get ahead of them. Lewis, later, appreciate that very much. You didn't have to do that as an exit, but thank you so kindly. Have a great time in life. I know I see you on Facebook, and you always look like you're enjoying the moment, sir. Take care. Maybe I can intermittently fast with Vegemite, huh? Let's see here. I think we're just about caught up, huh? Had some pretty interesting conversation. I appreciate that this time. Dave Glass says, I hope I have a safe trip back to the U.S. Thank you very much. I'm happy things are easier to get back and forth now. I still have to do the 24-hour, it's like an ATK test or PCR to get on the plane back to the U.S., but that's not a big deal. And coming back also has been, and I'm not leaving actually till I think towards the end of July. So who knows what's going to happen by then. Aaron says everyone is a critic, but usually we are our own worst critic. A lot of times I get criticized by, and I'll delete your comment because it aggravates me. I love your videos, Chuck, but I can't handle the clickbait. So creating content is not the easiest thing to do. Painting a picture, writing a book, selling a cheeseburger, right? You're not going to put a picture of a raw patty and some dough and say, "Here, I make a hamburger for you. You want to try it?" I mean, you have to make something. They don't know what it takes to be creative, so they say these stupid ass like, "Hey, you clickbait." I mean, I don't do a video like on how to purchase healthcare insurance and name it how to pick up a girl in Thailand. But when you have a random video, it's something in that video that pertains to the title that obviously they're not watching. But it annoys me to no end when they say that. But I'll just delete it because they didn't take the time really to watch the video, and they just need to concentrate on watching the video more than trying to tell me how to name or make a video. I think that's annoys me quite a bit when people do that. I want somebody to watch the video. You know what I mean? Like that's our intent is to get people to see our content so our channel can grow and I can show a better. I feel like I want to show something good about Thailand because I love it here, and I want to show I'm my happy life, which really pisses off a lot of people. Like they don't like to see somebody that's not miserable like them. It really aggravates the crap out of them. Like they're saying, no, there's something. They're trying to figure out what it is. Like it can't be real, you know. And I get that. I get that a lot. But I want somebody to watch the video. And I don't know how many times you've looked at the menu and go, damn, it didn't look anything like that. But I bought the damn thing because it looked like that in the picture. But you bought the hamburger. That was their only goal, was you to come in there and eat the damn hamburger, right? And hopefully you would like it because most people probably did like it. But that's how you advertise, right? That's you don't put a you don't put a an unattractive person in your clothing commercial to try to sell your product. These people don't have a clue on how anything works, and it aggravates me. The stupidity aggravates me. And also, if I say stuff like, "Okay, we're leaving," the thing is, it's their perception is that I'm leaving Thailand. I'm pretty sure that's what they're thinking. Like, and then they're disappointed that it wasn't what they thought when they initially clicked on the video. Like, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Clickbait. Like, what are you, stupid? You're a stupid person. Like, that was just your perception of what you probably thought I was talking about. But I probably, in the back of my mind, knew that that was going to happen and I was going to get people to click on it. And I knew I was going to get some negative response and get those types of people in my comment section. But, I'm trying to be creative, right? I drug that on. A little YouTube issues. Traveler, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Your videos are wonderful. I learned a great deal when I watch. When I do make a video clip, and let's say it gets a lot of views because I've got the right picture and the right title, I get more subscribers. I didn't realize that this content was here, and then our channel grows. That's how it works. I want the channel to grow. 40% of my viewers don't even subscribe, but I get that because a lot of the people are 60 and up and they don't have a Facebook page. Like they're worried about putting information. Like they don't want to get a Google account. I get that. There's nothing I can do about that. But to think Google doesn't know, the computer doesn't run your world anyway. You just everything is pretty much secure. Like if somebody hacks your credit card, like they fix that like right away. If somebody hacks your bank account, they fix that right away. Like everything's pretty secure these days. It's difficult to get away from that. It's difficult to still write checks, I'll say. Lindsay, hey, Chuck spent a week in Koh Chang and went to see Dave at Annie P's. Thanks for the heads up on the island. Made the trip worthwhile. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dave's a funny character, good guy. He, yeah, we go eat there every time. I think people are confused with your sarcasm with clickbait. Maybe. I think a lot of people just look at me like, what is this guy with? And I've had people say they clicked on my channel and say, what is wrong with this guy? He looks like a dickhead with a flat top. What is his problem? I only have the haircut because it just makes sense to me. It's hot as hell in Thailand, so it's easy for me to just cut it my damn self. Being bald is the best haircut. Tommy J, one thing I hate about Pattaya is the grumpy old men and the bar stool never happy. Another thing, I don't like that either, Tommy, but one thing I don't like the most about the area is the Thai people are different because they've been beat so hard by these people on the bar stool, and they're just not as friendly. If you travel around Thailand a lot, you'll see what I mean. Like people in Isan are so super kind and friendly, but when you go into tourist areas, they're like, it's like they're careful about what they say. They're not smiling so much. How many have been in Thailand? I don't know what you're saying. How many have been in Thailand? I'm not sure. Davey McGee, good to see you. McGuy. McGuy. Yeah, hello. I have to say, Patty, you are a strange person. You have been, I don't know if this offends you or not. I'm kind of, maybe why I don't have so many friends. Your comments are kind of off the wall. I don't think English is your first language, but like you watch a video, I think, and you ask me a question that the whole video was about that subject, and you ask me a question about that. I don't get some of your questions sometimes, and I think I'm sure it's me. I'm sure it's probably an age gap. It's probably a cultural gap. It's probably a whole different way of thinking, But I don't get you sometimes on your comments. Like I have no idea what the hell if you're trying to be clever, insulting, or you just like for me to say Patty Forsman. I think I know you're not offended, but I'm pretty sure you're not. Sleeveless and Siam. I'd like to see a video of you making your videos and editing. I think that would be boring for me to try to make, but maybe one day. Maybe. Tom Yum guy, not just you, Chuck. A lot of problems is when somebody you don't understand somebody's way of thinking, and this is difficult for a YouTuber to try. And I had a hard time with this. Like I didn't quite get the English sense of humor at all at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I kind of like duked it out sometimes with some people. I'm like, because I didn't get it, you know. And but it's difficult to kind of know somebody on the internet. And I've met quite a few people that have told me some funny back and forth that I've had with them on the internet. John Gee, hi, how are you? From the Gold Coast of Australia. Davey McGee, hope it's not a repeat question, but how is your mom? Is she coming to Thailand soon? Yeah, I kind of talk about this now almost in all of my videos now, trying to get people prepared for what's coming up for me next to my channel. But she's doing fine, and I've already got her plane ticket booked. She'll be here soon. I didn't get a response back from Patty. I didn't think I probably would. I'm sure he's okay with it. Midlife adventures. Maybe he was asking the chat how many people in the chat have been to Thailand. Probably. I'm sure it's something like that. I'm sure it's just I don't quite understand. I don't think English is his first language. First off, and I don't know why he puts everything in cap locks, but it's some other. We've been chatting. He's been a fan of the channel for a long time. We've had several conversations, and sometimes he just says some of the off of the wall things, and I don't quite understand why. Uh, yeah, Dave Glass. I always say if somebody offends me, it's just my fault for being. That's true. If it offends you, then that's all you. If I offend you, it's just you being offended. That's it. Keo, what's up? Howdy from Vegas. Visiting Thailand for 3 weeks. Hopefully, we can meet up for some beers. We're always somewhere in Thailand. I always like to meet people. H-Town Pop, do you have a breakdown of where your subscribers are located? But yes, I do. I can tell where everybody's from, their age. It gives us all that information. Text or typing has always been disconnected. I love to go back and forth with people, like I was saying, but now it's just not worth it anymore. I either have to, like this guy, this dickhead here. What do we do here with this guy that's spamming my account? I knew he was going to show up eventually. Here we go. Bam, done. Okay. All right. Let's see. And sometimes I accidentally block somebody. I don't mean it. Sorry if I did that. You guys must not have seen that pop up. Oh wait, you know what? I'm looking at the Streamyard, and I should probably be looking at the YouTube one over here. It's more. It seems like it's more entertaining. You guys are really. My moderators are working pretty hard. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, guys. Sorry, you can't see that on the other one. Well, Catch Bay, thank you very much. Before I read your comment, I know me and Catch Bay have had some, I think, some cultural indifferences. I think I'm not really sure, but I know it kind of started out by you getting with another person in Thailand who doesn't. I don't really want to get into that conversation, but yeah. But anyway, I think everything is fine. I think me and you probably have a lot of differences because of where we come from. Catch Bay says, "Thank you very much for the donation, by the way. So I subscribe because of the content of your channel. I wanted to improve the quality of your videos. I sent money to you first wireless microphone. I remember that. You have developed and you have developed a lot in 2 years. I assume the reason has been criticism." Um, no, I'm not trying to be. Yeah, we all have to look at criticism and like say, oh, well, maybe I should not like point like at first like when I talk to people I want to look them in the eye and like I held the camera in my face the whole time and people said you got to stop doing that. So yeah, we got to learn from definitely got to learn from your viewers what they expect once you get a kind of a platform together. But really, if you're going to be a YouTuber, you have to be creative. Like you have to be artistic and you have to try to look at your videos and be your own critic. And you have to try to make it look good. Like sound has to be good, the quality has to look good, or nobody's going to watch it. And the object is you want somebody to watch your content. So you have to take criticism, but you need to really look at your own stuff at an artistic point of view and make it enjoyable. But yeah, I appreciate the microphone. I actually don't quite use it much. I do sometimes. I do sometimes. You gave me money for half. I remember you gave me the money, and they were like, okay, that's like for half. So I guess I'm committed. I'll have to buy the other half, and I did, and I still have it actually. But I appreciate it, Catch Bay. Thank you, sir, very much. I think it would be better if we had a conversation like face to face. I think that's always better. When you over the internet looking at words, sometimes things get uh, you know confusing. Carl, do you enjoy the trips you take with other YouTubers, or do you prefer the? I actually invite them. They're my friends. It gets sometimes in the middle of the trip. It gets. We all have our own things that we want to do, especially when we're creating videos. Um, but I invite them because I enjoy being around them, and I think they come because they enjoy coming on the trip too. So But me and Paige always have a good time together, no matter what. Um, Either way is fine with me. I think I probably enjoy being with just Paige most of the time. Paul Smith, YouTube is saturated now. You have to be very clever to get. When I there was only like three or four vloggers. I'll tell you, it was like Scott Mallon, JC from Retired Cheap Dot Asia. There was Sunny, and I think Rob 20 Seconds in Thailand just came about, and that was about it. Like that was the only. I don't. There may have been more. I don't know, but now when I got here, I wasn't coming here to be a YouTuber. Like I wanted to just show my friends and family Thailand, but then I started getting these compliment. I started getting these people that were enjoying the content and seeing a different. Like not a lot of people come live Thai style in Thailand, So they enjoyed seeing that, and then they enjoyed seeing me like adapt somebody new and that was willing to put himself on the internet. But yeah, there's so many, but there's only so many things you can talk about in Thailand. You're limited. Like there's a time limit. They don't last very long. So unless you've got a following, because we have a lot of characters in our channel, and we just share everyday life. So if I've got all kind of videos on crap, if you want to see how to buy a car or insurance or whatever, that's there. But I just share everyday life, and what happens eventually is they have to move on to either change their content or move on to a different country. We got some traveler here. Thank you very much for that. If I'm missing your comment again, sorry. Not only have you and Paige given me interest in Thailand, but my wife loves hearing about your travels and adventure. Thank you from both of us. Thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate that. And you know, you don't have to give me money to continue to make good content. I do appreciate the. I know what it means. You want to give an appreciation, and I want to give an appreciation too. And I just want everybody to subscribe and watch the video. You have to go home after work though and crack open a beer and relax. It's not something you can watch on your lunch break. Aaron Hill, thank you so very much for that, sir. Really, thank you. Here's for y'all's trip back to the States. Take Paige and your mom out for a good Mexican food dinner. Thank you very much, Aaron. I'll have to bring you along for that on the video as well. That'll just about cover it, I think, in America. I got some good footage last time I was there on some pricing. We did a lot of shopping, and I brought you guys with, and I was showing the price. So I'm going to take some of that footage and compare it to whatever the inflation is right now. I'm curious to see the difference in pricing on stuff. So hopefully I can put that together. There are so many vloggers in Thailand now, but a lot are just rents and repeat from the original vloggers. It ends up being the same conversation, just a different spin on it. It's difficult. How many videos can you make about getting a driver's license, in Thailand? It becomes the same crap over and over again, you know what I mean? It's hard. I did make one, but mostly I was just sharing my experience. I brought you like through the day process. I thought that might be a little bit more entertaining, but if people are just looking for information, they wouldn't have liked that video. Dip Media, is that law firm you recommend still a good option? Of course it is, and I'm going to use them for my mom. I'll bring everybody along for that. But a lot of my viewers have used that law firm, and you can get his site from any one of my videos, and you can talk to him prior to going. But he's a Thai man. They have a big law firm, and they do a lot more than just visa stuff. I mean, you have any problems in Thailand, or if you want to buy a car or you want to buy a condo or whatever you want to do, they can do it for you. Daz. Yeah, he talked about the law firm at the start of the video. Yes. Tom Yum guy, I no longer watch the walking videos. I have a lot of videos where we're walking. Bicycle videos more, but yeah, a lot of people don't like the. But I'm only going to make videos what I want to make videos of. So I get really sick and tired of doing the Sunday Fun Day videos, but I know a lot of people like them, and it gets difficult for me to make it entertaining in my eyes. Media, can I consult with him even though I am in the, yes, yeah, I mean, he speaks perfect English. People in his firm speak perfect English. You just go to the website, send him a message. They have a live chat thing too. You can put him on retainer if you, for some security, if you feel like maybe there's going to be a problem in Thailand uh, for you. But you can contact him through email or on the website. That's what most people do. That's why I recommend them in case you got some questions prior to coming over. What's the best route for you to do to handle whatever you're trying to get handled? Patty. I'm like your ways. I'm 50 years old and like you're thinking. Like me, yes, my first language is Swedish. I like you, Patty. You've been a viewer of my channel forever, but like I said, I think there's going to be a problem. I don't quite understand sometimes the way you ask the question, and I'm sure it has to do, but it's not an age gap. I didn't know that. For whatever reason, I thought you were a lot older because a lot of times people type in caps that are older. Uh, yeah, I think sitting down across the table from you would be a better conversation. So, but I know you're not sensitive, so we can have this conversation. I think me and you've had a couple back and forth on the internet. Oh, I thought that's what he meant, Lee, but I was just kind of being sarcastic a little bit. Appreciate it, traveler. Yeah, I think we all just kind of share our experience, and you can kind of see how it works out for us. Um, I think that's the best way to show Thailand, and it's just to show what it's like to be living here and our experiences. Yes, Brock just shared his information right here. A lot of people have used the service, and I'm just thankful I can share something that works for people. That I have this little connection. Um, I mean, it may not work for everybody, but how can you find something that works for everybody? But I haven't had anybody at least tell me that they had a shitty experience with them. But, and I don't make any money, like I said at the beginning, from this guy. Like he's tried to offer me some kind of deal where he gives me a some kind of kickback, but I don't. After thinking about it, it's like, no, I really don't want any money coming. I don't have money coming into my account from working here in Thailand. I don't have money I don't make money in Thailand. So uh, everything that I have, like for all of this, is connected to my wife. So we're married, so we have to pay like tax. YouTube sends us 1099. We're married, so we have to file tax together, and she still has to pay tax for Thailand. But for me, I don't want to go any money coming into my account that's not coming from my bank account in America. So I'm saying I don't get any kickbacks from this guy. I just know it works. But he does owe me. He's going to help me up with my mom getting her visa, and he said, "Don't worry about it. He'll take care." I mean, anytime if I've got a problem with the law or I need a lawyer or need some consultation or whatever, that he's my guy. That's what really is more important to me. Watching Chuck in his travels is way cheaper than the bar. Don't mind sharing some gratitude for his time and services of entertainment. Thank you. I really do appreciate that, Aaron. I really do. Tommy, good night. I know it's about midnight right there in Texas. Have a good evening. Thank you. Thank you as always, Tommy. Hope to see you soon. David Glass. Does reading Thai seem to impress Thai people more than speaking? Yeah, I think they're in shock, and I use this for sarcasm mostly because they're surprised that I'm even saying anything in Thai, and they act like they don't understand what I'm saying sometimes. And I'll ask them, "Are you Thai?" And they'll be like, "Of course I'm Thai." So I'll say, "Okay, well, I'll say the word again, and then I'll spell it." They're like, "Okay, what do you want?" I'll spell it in Thai. It's like, "Okay, you don't know what I'm saying, so this is how it's spelled." Falang knows too much. Damn, you got a lot of problems, Gav, if you're drinking Coronas. No, just kidding. Yeah, maybe you should switch to Dos Equis. Brock, best thing to do with haters is ignore them, or if you have to, then block them from your channel. A lot of times, well, I don't let them pollute my channel because not just because of me, but I want people share a lot of stuff in the comment section, and I don't want that atmosphere on my channel. Like it's not a free speech on my channel. There's plenty other create your own damn channel and you can share your words of wisdom and see how many people agree with them. Okay. But I want people to share their experiences, positive and negative. But if you're being just your only goal is to be a little feel good moment for yourself is what I call it, then nobody has time for you. Go away. You know, nobody wants to get involved with your crap, and that's why you're doing it on the internet to begin with, because you're not gonna come up to me and say it to my face. I haven't seen that yet. I think it'll happen one day. It'll be an exciting moment in time. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Like I've never talked bad about anybody else on the internet. I don't care what you do. I don't talk bad about other bloggers, but they feel like they've got to step on me to try to get better for themselves. I guess makes them happy. Good for them. Well, guys, I'm gonna cut this. I almost said cut this short. Hell, it's been like 3 hours now. Holy crap! I think that's a record. My throat's starting to hurt. Anyway, it's been a good live stream. I didn't have any guest on this time. I had a guest in mind to have today. I haven't heard from him, but we'll try to have one on the next live stream. Another we'll definitely have somebody on the next live stream. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Catch Bay. I really appreciate that. If you're ever in the neighborhood, I'd like to buy you a coffee, or if you drink beer or chang or whatever the hell you drink, and we can talk in person. But anyway, guys, it's been wonderful. We'll see you tomorrow. Of course, I didn't put a video out today because I knew I was going to have this. So, but I hope you guys enjoy the next few series of our videos. We just got back from Udon and had a great time. So, anyway, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.